man. It's the cheap one. Hello. I am here using the bargain basement streaming software Restream, which Destro Designs is envious of, even though he shells out the actual money for
well, we talked
StreamYard
last
like normal person, but I use Restream. It's fine. And I am here with a toy kind of mood, Travis Moody.
What's up?
Thank you for joining us. RA Rayne, both back from San Diego Comic-Con, having experienced it live. In fact, Travis is great about. I feel like everybody's using his photos. You know, I think and with your permission. I mean, you're like cool with like Christopher Full Force. I watched a bunch of his live streams, and your photos have been fueling it, which is kind of nice because we're kind of grasping out what can't be there to have it and have somebody who's not like a dick. Who's like, yeah, cool, use, just say you're using it.
Well, hey, it was the only thing I was allowed to do there was take photos. So,
really? Okay.
You might as well use them.
Yeah. And we got, of course, Michael, aka Destro Designs.
What's up, y'all?
We did not go. This is going to be a running theme. We did not go to anything.
We did not go.
We're just here.
We missed
have
it again.
FOMO. Yes,
well,
we missed
you're
this
on the
and
East
Joe
Coast.
Fest.
We're both in LA, so
Yeah, there's no reason for you
easier
not
for
to
us
go. Really easy for you to
For
go.
sure.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I
Joe
missed
Fest
it.
2027. It's going to be off the hook.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm
yes,
there.
it is.
Are you gonna go?
You missed my
Joe Fest?
announcement that I was telling the
I'm
guys
there.
before.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Did you go to Joe Fest this year, Travis?
No.
No, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I haven't gone in 2 years, but I miss it, and it's the greatest convention. It's so much fun. There's no baloney there. It's a good time.
I've never been,
Same.
but sadly,
Next year, we're taking over.
Everyone's going next year. 10-year anniversary. You got to do
I'm
it.
going next year.
Everyone's going. Yeah, we're all going. I'm not going to plan. any
Everybody
trips.
in the chat, everybody outside walking sidewalk.
Yeah.
It's happening. Let's go.
Nice. So we're here to talk about, of course, what is everybody talking about? San Diego Comic-Con, tons of reveals. Well, not really. Actually, no. Sorry. No, not a lot of tons of reveals. Some reveals.
Depends on what
and
you're
a lot of
looking at
things.
as a reveal and for which company.
Well, we've been talking about a bunch of shit from the last, for the last month that we saw, already. But there were a few reveals and actually some pretty good ones, in my opinion. So I think we're here to talk about that. But let's say hi to the people in the chat. We got our good friend G.I. Dave here. Pop Cult Frenzy, Dark Lord, all friend, Jeff Morris, Assholian, of course, Riptide O'Leary, Sane Adam, Cookster, Lynn Green. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Very cool.
Nice. So a lot
What's
of
up,
people
guys?
planning to go to Joe Fest. Yeah. So let's talk about it. Yeah. I guess we could just talk about your overall, what was your feeling about Joe Fest in a minute, and then we'll talk about item by item. But before that, who saw the Odyssey? Did you guys see the Odyssey? I'm curious.
I have not had a chance to go see it yet. With getting ready for Comic-Con, and today, I have not gotten a chance.
Yeah. How about you guys in the chat? Anybody see the Odyssey?
I did not. Two people that I always line up with their with the movies they like or movie I like and shit like that. They both said they didn't like it that much. They were like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as, maybe if you go in there thinking it's going to have the impact that the book had when it came out, it's,
oh yeah.
I don't know. It looks like it's going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see it?
I saw it twice. I saw it on the screen, and I saw it behind the camera or in front of the camera. I was in the movie for a while. Actually, as an extra.
That's awesome.
So I worked.
Nice.
I worked 16 days on the Odyssey. Been very fortunate to work 2 Nolan films. I also worked on Tenet as so I don't know. I guess I fit this demographic where they throw me in, leotard or military.
You worked with TJ Wims. I just had him on the show last week. You guys,
my guy.
Yeah.
He's my dude, man. You were like besties out there on Tenet, but yeah, I worked the Odyssey, and I it's crazy because most of the interior scenes were about the suitors, and I was a suitor, and I was pretty much there.
Right, dude.
It feels like almost half the movie. So getting to see the final work, totally biased, of course, but getting to see the final product, after being there, it's just like a mind-blowing experience. You know what I mean?
Nice.
To like be a part of something, the long days, long takes, and then you're like, oh, they didn't use that line. I like that line. We all reacted to that line, and then kind of like stuff like that. And I saw myself a little bit. I probably have to wait for streaming to freeze frame it. I wasn't focused on too much, but it was cool to see buddies of mine that got some close-ups. But yeah, just being a part of it was a beautiful thing. And I love the movie. I think all Nolan's movies are pretty much great, but this is up there for me. It's got to be in the top 5, 3, maybe 1. I don't know. I'd have to think about it, but I came away loving it. And I loved most. We don't have to derail about the Odyssey, but it was a horror movie. And Nolan's never really did one, and I walked away going, that was a horror. Like it was a horror. The whole thing was pretty much like a horror movie. It wasn't like a typical grand drama, historical drama. It was more of a horror movie. Like it was tense. It was tense as shit.
That makes me interested. That's an interesting way to put it. Now I mean I wanted to see it anyway, but that sounds interesting.
I fucking loved it, man. I thought it was amazing. And there's been like a lot of discourse about it, and people are like saying it's shit, it's overrated, it's gonna fail, and then it killed, and it's like making $1 billion, and the discourse is really stupid, and it's like once you see the movie, I mean, like before the movie, people are bringing up points. I'm like, well, maybe, I don't know, but you watch the movie, you're like, none of that shit matters, man. It's a masterpiece. I think it's. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's up there for me. Probably I put it like third, fourth favorite Nolan movie. I'm kind of a Nolan fan.
Nice.
Hey, Roadblock.
The problem with getting info like that when you're on the internet is there's always people that are literally shit talking it just for clicks. It's part of their, you know what I mean? People.
Well, I think that's what's happened. Yes.
Right. I mean, because Christopher Nolan is what, the filmmaker of our generation? Is he not? Yeah. Am I misspeaking when I say that? Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He is.
Look,
he is.
There's so many things that have been politicized with this. Things that have been said that. I mean, Elon Musk wants to make his own version of it.
Go for it, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, like, whatever.
Unfortunately, with some of these movies this summer, this seems to be like people are wanting things to fail. They wanted He-Man to fail. They wanted this to fail. There's a lot of things. They want
Classified to fail.
Well, yeah. You know what? That's funny. There's a parallel. The audience here, you gotta, it's like whatever what drives clicks. Well, I don't think it drives many clicks in Classified, but in like the Odyssey, it does. I feel like I follow a bunch of the guys who are critics, and they like to talk about shit's too woke, whatever. That's like their whole thing. Wow. And sometimes it's fun to go along. Like this is the one that broke it for me. I'm like, where the fuck did you get this from this movie? Anyway, it was just stupid.
I mean, because the whole thing's made up. None of these characters were real.
Yeah, it's really stupid. So anyway, if you're on the fence because you've been like hearing shit, just ignore it and go see the movie.
Great movie.
He-Man. Speaking of movies, He-Man has now become the biggest movie streaming.
That's surprising.
Movie in the world.
It's a perfect watch it at home movie because if there's parts you don't like, you just skip over it. I must have put it on 5 nights since it came out. Has it even been out a week? I just kept throwing it on as I fell asleep, and I would go to skip to different parts and whatever. Just dude, there are people that say it's a bad movie. I think are just so stuck in their lore, or they're these click jerk offs that we're talking about because it's like,
dude, I put it on today. My daughter and I, she cosplays for Monster High, so she did a lot of cosplaying at the Mattel booth this Comic-Con. But we were working on her new project, and we were watching He-Man today, and the girl who refused to go see it in theaters with me, who absolutely said it was stupid, was sitting here watching it more intently than I was.
Yeah. Oh, your daughter would strike me like she would think it was stupid. Come on.
My daughter likes everything. It's just something she wasn't interested in. Now, if it was the She-Ra movie, she would have gone to see it. But that Netflix She-Ra, she loved that show.
Yeah, I heard that's pretty good. I have not watched that yet.
Maybe that'll be a thing.
Nice.
I think at this point it's probably a yes that they're going to make the next movie, and it only makes sense for it to be She-Ra. Sort of the Secret of the Sword again,
and Amazon doesn't care what they do in the theaters. That's not their bread and butter.
Bonus.
They put things
I don't. I've been trying to figure out how you even like what their model is at all, because For me, it's just like I bought Amazon Prime to get the deal. I don't give a shit about, like, I watch shows. I'm glad I have it, but I would still buy it. Whether there was a show, I'd still be buying it because I'm buying it. So it's always been ridiculous. But okay,
in order for a film to qualify for the Oscars, you have to have it in the theater for
because it's going to win a lot of Oscars. That He-Man movie.
Right. So a lot of so when you see a movie that's from Apple or from Netflix or something in the theater, they've done that on purpose to try to get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
But they don't care. They want the content on their service more than they wanted it. The box office dollars are great, but that's not where they're hoping to have it, or where it's going to end up.
And the biggest thing is we want to know, like, we want it to be a success because the Danny McBride G.I. Joe movie is really hanging on how good this thing does, I think. Right. People love being fucking Debbie Downers. Agreed. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Dude, did anybody
politicizing everything too, and it's the stupidest thing ever.
I've had enough
sick of it. It's like people were pissed off about everything politically when there's no, like, in G.I. Joe, there's no politics here. Yeah,
right. It's like, no, you think everything is about that. It's not. It's the watcher keeps putting their face. Did anybody see, not to perpetuate the movie talk, did anybody see Mortal Kombat 2? The one that they just rebooted? Dude, I watched it the other night. It is I couldn't believe how much I liked it.
It's great. It's so good.
It was so good. It was geared towards adults. They were super on point with being true to the source material, like with the moves 100%. And stuff, but it was all naturally done. They weren't shoehorning stuff in. It just, I couldn't believe it. I LOL'd a few times. The dude who plays Kano is hysterical. Like they made pop culture references. They made it like, I don't know. I couldn't believe the next morning. I was like, first of all, I stayed up and watched that whole thing, and that never happens. I usually have to parse something out over course.
It's incredibly underrated. I agree.
Yeah,
it's a perfect adaptation of an already silly thing. Yes. Elseworld does a million different versions.
Right.
A lot of crazy sci-fi ninja karate characters, and they did a great job. Yeah, it was much better than the first. So they had their eyes.
Well, I was going to say the first one for this reboot wasn't that bad.
Wasn't bad.
So much.
This is way better.
It was good. It was decent, and then this is like a lot better.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad you guys.
We'll get to the San Diego Comic-Con. Stalling for a minute to make sure we get everybody in the room. But last thing is, I assume you saw the He-Man. Are you a He-Man fan? Travis,
Me?
Are you into He-Man?
Oh yeah, I love Masters, but it's not like incredibly on my radar. Like it makes the top 10 nostalgic toy branded things I like, but it's not like it's not in the top 5. It's somewhere I don't know where it'd be, like 7 or 8 or something like that, maybe 6, 7. I haven't ranked them.
That would be an interesting topic one night. Is everybody's top 5 10. Or top 10 fandom?
That is a good topic. Yeah. I've done it. I got
after this Comic-Con, G.I. Joe is 10 now. It was number 1, but now
why is that? And why is that? All right, so that's a good transition here. And why would that be? You can lead us off.
Because I see my friend Laser Pants in the chat, and I gotta take that crown and run with it right now. Coming back from Comic-Con.
Oh, nice. So. Okay. Hey, Laser Pants. Thanks for coming.
What up,
What's up, brother?
What up, dog? Yeah.
Yeah, G.I. Joe guy says we're going to be a short show tonight with only 5 STCC.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was a lot to talk about, though, I think. Well, first of all, what was your overall impression? You were there.
I'll let Rayne take it because I got a lot to say. I'll let Rayne go. He was there.
Are we talking of the G.I. Joe panel, or are we talking SDCC overall?
G.I. Joe. Yeah.
The panel.
No, or just G.I. Joe reveal overall.
Oh, in general at Comic-Con.
I mean, in general, this Comic-Con was I've been there for the last 20 years or 21 years. So I've been going since 2005. And
wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like an OG at Comic-Con at this point.
Somebody just reminded me I got to turn off the money, the ads. It's annoying. Sorry, nice. I will.
Yeah, I always turn it on.
I always forget it.
The show.
I do, but then I forget. I really honestly, I do forget. It's like not a lot of money. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go continue while I do that. No. Thank you for reminding me there in this chat.
besides the first year or two after COVID, this one felt really different. Like FX didn't have any of their stuff that they usually have on the outside. Like they usually have a big setup for whatever the seasons are coming up for their shows. That wasn't there. Saturday felt so much more packed than normal, which is still insanely packed.
Yeah, I heard it was really packed, like more than ever.
It was crazy. And then there were things like the whole thing at Funko where some people started putting out fake wristbands, and they had an overflow, and there was and there's all kinds of weird things. But for me this year, it was way more business than pleasure than like it usually is. I was in meetings all the way up until Saturday morning, and then I finally got to see the floor. But because I usually, like back there is my hall, and this year there's only a couple items where it's normally, there's a bunch of graphic novels and prints and all kinds of stuff. But I had a great con. I mean, it was as far as career-wise, it was the best one I've had.
Okay.
And I've done 2 panels there, so,
Okay.
But, yeah.
Nice.
What were the panels you did?
I did a podcast for 10 years called Nerdables.
Okay.
And we did a panel one year where we interviewed Eric Balza and a couple other voiceover actors. Who Eric Balza now is the voice of, half of the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes now, but he's mainly Bugs Bunny, I think, and Daffy Duck. Anyways, we interviewed him, and then we did one for our Star Wars Declassified series where we had the owner of the Scum and Villainy Cantina here in LA. We had him and a couple other voiceover actors and other people that are related to Star Wars, and did a full Star Wars breakdown of, I don't even remember what the episode was. I know it was Declassified, and we usually with Declassified, we either take a movie or a person, character, or vehicle, and break it down and spend an hour talking about it. Anyways, so I did those panels, and I did one for writing and another one once for like independent films.
Okay.
So,
cool.
But this one was very, very beneficial for me, especially with Protocol G.I. Joe.
Nice. All right. Very cool.
Awesome.
Hey, did you know that you could go to
What's
Lowe's?
that? Okay. How about you, Travis? We'll get into that why, but how'd you? What was your opinion?
We'll talk about the good part. Actually, no, we'll start with the bad because it's
start with the bad.
Preview night. So the bad thing was I had already got word out from a friend who's an exhibitor there that there were no surprise G.I. Joe classified drops. If you remember last year, in addition to Cold Slither, they had Slice and Dice and the Ostriker there.
Yep.
So as someone who depends on reviews for their YouTube channel and isn't named Bees Battlegrounds and Shark Eyes Toy View, 2 of my homies, by the way, like 2 of my real good friends. If you're not one of those 2 guys or D Amazing or something like that, you're going to get your stuff when everyone else does. And you know how the algorithm works when it comes to reviews. So I'm like, all right, I use Comic-Con as a chance to get something early, review in the hotel room, throw it up, and get some good numbers. And there was nothing early. There was no early drop. And I actually asked the team that, and they said that last year they had leftover Slice and Dice and Ostrikers, and they had to pay to get them shipped all the way back to, wherever their warehouse is, Indiana or Illinois, or maybe even in New England somewhere. They had to ship them back to Hasbro, whatever it is.
That was exactly why Entertainment Earth took their booth out, and Sideshow took their booths out, because they were taking back more product than because the whole point is whatever you ship down there, you have to ship back whatever's left. And if you're not selling everything, you're not shipping. You're shipping everything back.
Right.
And
It's brutal.
Yeah, you're losing money. There's no point, right? So,
and it's very expensive.
So anyway,
right now.
So they had the Fatal Fluffies, over here, and then they had that just atrocious. There's nothing like Springfield 2-pack. that thing is brutal. I don't want to have to.
It's brutal, but I still like it. I mean,
I don't even think I'm gonna buy it. I don't think they have my money on that one.
Yeah, pass. Easy pass.
Maybe the Cadet Deming. I don't give a shit about the shipwreck.
Cadet Deming's dope, but yeah, it's not.
Sure. If I could trade for one of those, I just don't want. I'm not gonna buy the whole set. If I could trade for something, I would like 10 Cadet Demings, to be honest.
Yeah. So yeah.
But anyway, just to scoot along, that was my preview night because I was able to get them, and I went back to I'm in San Diego right now. I went back home and reviewed it, and it did nothing. It hasn't even hit 2,000. No one cares about these exclusives. Like there's like 2 reviews of them online, and no one's even watching mine. So it was a waste of preview night. Yeah.
Let me ask you. Okay, so what would you want as exclusives? I mean, deep cuts like Cold Slither, because Cold Slither they still have for sale, or would you rather have?
Well, they just made too many. They made too many. That's the thing.
Well,
so
they used to.
They never get that right. They don't have enough Walmart stuff. They have too much Cold Slither. Yes. Like it's all over the fucking place. You know what I mean?
Because they used to limit these things to like a few thousands. Now not like they're almost making 300,000 or whatever their base number is for a lot of these things. But
I think it's like 20,000 is what I heard, but I don't know.
Is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying. That's more like, I think so. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate information. That's just like,
I know that at the Hasbro booth, like everything was selling out every day. Like,
except G.I. Joe.
Except for the G.I. Joe. So
which is weird because usually G.I. Joe sells better than everything else.
Yes.
Right. Well, but
so it's like they're really fucking it up.
This thing sold out by 1:00 every day. The Fatal Fluffies and Springfield, especially on Sunday, that was the only thing left.
Yeah, I mean the Fatal Fluffy to me is a perfect Sandy SDCC
I agree.
thing.
Perfect. I gave it a great.
It's a good figure
score.
too.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I don't like. It's not like that exciting because it's like it does to me goes a little bit beyond the like realm of what I like in G.I. Joe, but it's totally fun and a totally useful figure. It's completely fun.
That's why that should be a
shipwreck figure is so useless, and that panel is so lame. It's just like a block of nothing. You know what I mean?
It is. There's nothing to it. It's got hardly any detail. It's very hollow. There's no functionality.
I think that's why they made it where you can put the Mass Effects pieces on it. It's because so that way
does not
Mass Effect.
Right.
I know, but at least it gave it some functionality with what some things you might already have.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, at least I don't know. It's stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. But to answer your question, I mean, I know I'm thinking about the Ninja Force 2-pack where it's Jinx and Snake Eyes, and those are 2 primary characters, and they're repaints in a way because they're Ninja Force. Now it's not ready yet. They just announced it in the panel, right, as a name only. But that would have been a good exclusive because it's repaint, 2 chief characters.
I'll give you that.
Female, male. You got the prime character, Snake Eyes. So, like that's always good. That or something crossing over with Transformers with everything being Energon. That would have been good. They're not. See, the problem is they're too slow with everything classified and they're not ready. There's too many licenses. There's too much paperwork with everything they do, whether it's Sunbow, whether it's Skybound. Because it's a Hasbro thing and Disney's not doing the work for them, it takes everything is just super slow. You got to think Transformers are coming from Japan, right? And they deal with all that. What's up?
It should be faster, you'd think, because they don't have to deal with.
You'd think so, but Disney's doing all the groundwork for them.
It takes about 1.5 years to make a toy, too. So they're thinking. They're not thinking to where we are right now within the line. They're thinking, from where we were 1.5 years ago in the line. And remember when Chuckles and Mindbender were the exclusives, everybody freaked out because you shouldn't have these mainline characters as exclusives. If you're going to do exclusives, they should be deep cuts. They should be the Cold Slithers. They should be the Fatal Fluffies. They should be, even going as far as like Night Force or some of that.
I agree on those 2. Yeah, I agree.
That's a good point, and it's like in that case, it's just like the shipwreck cadet timing thing is the thing that doesn't hit for me, but all the other ones hit for me. I was like,
and that's why it's a good exclusive is because some people will get it, some people won't.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bad exclusive because they have to ship all those back, and they're going to end up on
That's
clearance.
where
I'm
their
being
problem is.
factual. It's not. It's at the end of the day, you got to find a deep cut that's still strong.
Yep.
They still made money. I still believe they made money on coleslaw. It was very popular and sold a lot. They just made a ton because it was part of the concert package. I don't think that failed at all. It got great reviews. I know a lot of people that bought them. They just made
the couple years after COVID, they didn't do physical product there. Because they used at one point they had two major booths. They had the booth that they're in now, and then they have what is now the Bandai booth right across from them, and that was just as big as the Hasbro booth, and that was where they did their store. Now that they don't have that space anymore, they've had to take part of their own display unit and turn it into their store. So when they weren't giving physical product, it was easy. You had a QR code, you scanned it, and you got your figure a few weeks later. They went back to what everybody else does. Because people, the more you have on hand, the more people are going to buy it, whether they want it or not.
You got to have something in hand nowadays. There's no more COVID bullshit, so you gotta go there and get stuff in hand. You want to walk away from the convention with, you're paying all this money for hotels, flight, food, all this shit. You want to at least have something, not a fucking QR code. You want to have something like in hand.
I totally agree. And those
part
were
of the
hard
reason
years,
for that.
but
Part of the reason for that is
because of waiting. Sorry,
well, you got to think about, like, we play a huge part in the economic flow of this.
Yes,
this drives the sales, right? Like, I'm not saying me. I'm saying like all of us, YouTube, the collector. Like, I know even for me, like personally, like I was collecting a little bit, but like I collect because I watched your stream, your reviews, Bobby B's reviews. You know what I mean? Like that got me and started collecting. Then I started doing this stuff, and then it's like a feeling of like community. That's why it drives it. I think that if anybody like thinks, I think you all know that part of this is like, we are a big part of like moving the stuff for them. We are the biggest free advertisement. They should honestly kind of kiss our ass a little bit and be a little, maybe, and go on our shows and shit, because we are really driving some of the sales.
Look, one of the main reasons Hooded Cobra Commander got made was because of the fan outcry. Of course, they had to go through a lot of different hoops to try to finally get it, and the final piece was the crown, but literally, which is odd. But they had it was because of our outcry that they started the ball rolling. There's a lot of times you see a lot of the guys that were doing this 3D printing of the Serpentor or some of these other things, and then all of a sudden we got those figures where they weren't where they would have been if they released the line the way they were releasing it, as far as the dates of which characters were coming out. We got Serpentor much earlier in a wave than he would have been in the original line. But
hopefully
that's because there were so many people.
Machine.
Because there's so many people
exactly,
printing it and so many people wanting it.
Yeah.
So what's your take?
Do have
go for it, Jared.
Do have two last points on the exclusive thing. Well, I think the Hooded Cobra Commander should have been in hand at Comic-Con. Now it's fan channel or whatever, right? But it should have been there for people at Comic-Con, and then because it was the grail of Yojo June. That's the grail of Yojo June. It should have been at Comic-Con in hand. Lara Croft. I'm sure we'll talk about her.
Oh yeah,
she is in hand at New York Comic-Con. Well, okay, my bad. I was like, what happened?
Sorry.
So she's in hand at New York Comic-Con. We pre-ordered her at San Diego.
Yeah.
Here in San Diego, but they should have had Hooded Cobra Commander in hand. It would have sold out. Period. For San Diego, and then people get the pre-orders later as part of like kind of what they did last year with Ostriker, and it's like that would have worked. They wouldn't have shipped Hooded Cobra Commander back like they did with those. That would have been a great, kind of like a partial exclusive, like you get it first, but then whoever doesn't attend the show gets it later. You know what I mean? That
kind of like the Ostriker and kind of like the Ostriker and Slice and Dice. You had
better, like. it's a version of Cobra Commander. So if you don't have it right away at San Diego, it's not a big deal because you'll eventually get it. You pre-ordered it. And it's also a redo of a character. It's not the first time we're getting Cobra Commander in the line. So that would have
I
been
agree
it.
with that.
And
It
then-
just depends on
Yes.
if they had them in hand, for the shipping. Or, I mean, if they have them on
Right.
if they already have
Logistics,
them
like
here.
we're just talking ideas. We
Yeah.
don't really know what's going on in the
Yeah,
business.
But you're right.
I
That,
do
that's
think-
one of those figures that should be done like that. Or
Right.
hopefully
Well,
maybe Galabios with
Yep.
will get him like that.
Right.
Yeah.
One more thing. I'm sorry, but like as far as GI Joe, we all know needs media more than anything. It has none. So we got the movie coming out, and we got someday it's being written or made, and then we have the Energon animated series, which they talk nothing about. But I think once those things hit the floor running at San Diego, you'll start to see exclusives that are easy to sell. They'll sell fast because they'll tie into those two big media things that are going on with Skybound and Paramount. And I think, you can make a movie figure that's deluxe or a repaint for Comic-Con, and Energon, you can just have a special version of whoever, right? Baroness Deluxe or whatever, like Big Mercy. Like, not like you don't just sell Risk at Comic-Con, but you make a special version of that character so it doesn't piss off everybody. It's just like the deluxe version.
That's what Hasbro's done in the past with Lucasfilm. Every time there was a Star Wars movie coming out, there was whatever the Comic-Con exclusive tied into that property that was coming out. But it's mostly been for the films, not like the TV and animated. But G.I. Joe doesn't have the same pull as Star Wars, so you could do that where, you're putting out, whatever. I can see that happening too. Wherever the tie-in is going to be, you'll get an exclusive that ties it in, at Comic-Con.
Well, Destro, I want to hear what's your take on the overall reveals. All the what was your feeling here?
I think overall I was happy. I guess there was like I wasn't like this, especially seeing as how I've been kind of critical most of this year, kind of like a lot of things where I wasn't into them and prices, and I was, I don't know, like the reveals that they gave us. I mean, I'm sure we might go point for point, so I'm not gonna, right through it, but like, all those reveals, I was excited for those. The ones that they had in hand, stuff that you got to see in hand, I loved all of it. The Mutt and Junkyard, when they showed pictures of that, I was kind of like, damn, the Spirit and Low Light are like mostly the brown with a little bit of blue and a little bit of that green. These look like whole vest, whole thing with that bright blue. So I'm hoping maybe it's the pictures because it looks
as good better in person.
Okay, I'll take that. That's good enough for me. But yeah, overall, I was like, I'm excited. I felt like I'm back. I felt like Al Pacino in that meme.
I feel like it. I think they're really getting hurt by the like slow, just like let's reveal. I think they're just playing into too much of the culture, the YouTube, the reveals, where it's like, let's reveal everything. We really only have maybe 45, we have 15 minutes of shit that we can show you, maybe in 2 sessions is what they had in the last 2 months. So Yojo June, they kind of blew their load and they blew it over 4 weeks. It was like, you know what I mean? Like it took them forever. And by the end
Yojo
of
June should have been 2 episodes.
That was
it should have been
really not a lot. That was not, just do one big one.
The beginning of the month and one at the end of the month, and do the pre-orders in between.
Well, then you show up to this, and there's really almost no reveals except for the name reveals, but everything was redeemed by this. In my opinion, this redeems everything. Dinah, come on, Dana.
I'm glad they chose her first.
Dinah. Fucking happy.
Nice.
There is a reason they chose her first.
I'm so happy they're doing the October Guard, man. I really thought it was going to take a decade to get the October Guard. So for me,
I'm surprised, but I'm not going to complain. I've been wanting them.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Dinah figure? Dana, never understood how you say it, but
Dinah. I've always said Dinah.
Okay. Oh, thanks for the gold coins. I don't know.
What the hell? That
made it. Anybody want to weigh in? Yeah.
I'll jump in. Dinah, this was a great reveal. People popped for it. October Guard is now spelled with a C.
That's
There's no
upsetting.
K in there anymore.
That's fucking upsetting.
So there's obviously that was some paperwork, legal, ran through that and didn't want the Russian, whatever, unless there's something October Guard out there, a license that expired, and maybe someone in the chat can look or find out.
Yeah.
So maybe is there an October Guard out there with a K? That's what I would want to know, because it's no longer part of G.I. Joe.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I did not notice that. But yeah.
Yep. It said C on the logo on the render. Obviously, we knew this was coming with all the parts we got from, look, she's got Zanya's helmet, and then we got the gun and everything. So,
right.
And what was the story? This is tying into it's tying into something. There's a story there with the October.
There's a story that Skybound is going to do. They said later on that it's going to have the October in it.
No, but I mean, in Classified, does it tie into what's going on with Sundown or Synapse? It's one of those new characters. It's
yes,
Synapse.
yes.
The
October Guard. Yeah.
Well,
sorry,
go for it.
Sorry, Mark. Didn't mean to cut you off.
So the Iron Grenadier is something with the like Synapse is like an Iron Grenadier. Like he has like a like feud with the Iron Grenadier, right?
Right, but I'm saying, how does the October Guard?
They said that that because of what's going on with the Iron, they said almost like Destro's trying to take over Europe in Skybound, and that the October Guard are called in first to deal with the Iron Grenadiers.
Okay, so it was IG. Okay,
yeah.
So that's cool. I mean, they're building a little storyline with the.
You're right, because of Darklonia. That's that's the
Mm-hmm.
key word I needed was Darklonia.
Yeah.
It's
sorry.
Guard is like. No, you're good.
Darklonia is right near. It's probably near like Hungary or some shit. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
honestly, you know what it is? It's the Latveria of the Marvel universe in the G.I. Joe universe.
Yeah.
They're very similar in what they are and how they're described.
Yeah, but
I always imagined it right next to Transylvania.
Yeah,
it
is actually, because if you look at Destro's castle is in Transcarpathia.
Yes,
which is exactly next to or kind of
So
they're all that Eastern Europe, communist bloc type country.
Cool.
So this is fucking awesome though. I'm thrilled. Thrilled with this.
Agreed.
That one's, to me, there was 2 saves. It was the final reveal of the Thunder Machine, even though all right, so should we just go right to that? Because
just go to it. Might as well get it over
That's
with.
like everybody's curious here. Do I not have a picture of it? I did a terrible job. Okay. So Thunder Machine, kind of mind blowing. Well, it's just the idea that we finally have it. At least, okay, we have it. Because it was pissing me off at this point.
It's the first rendering.
Yeah. Is it? But I mean, a lot of times it's close. I
It
don't know. What are your
is.
thoughts,
I
Travis?
can confirm. RA Rayne is correct. This is just that it could be different. There's going to be a lot of similarities, but it's just you know what? They needed a bombshell announcement because of what you said. They blew a load in JoJo June, and in my opinion, I'm okay. It's Yojo June, not Yojo June 14th through 18th. So I'm okay getting reveals and spreading out the pre-orders every week. That's just on me because I want to celebrate the whole month. But they're just slow. It's a small team. There's no media pushing them. They don't have Disney and Lucasfilm helping them out with money and all that stuff. And the team, obviously, the team left. Lenny, Tony, Corey, etc. John Warden's gone. He's in at Lego. There's a lot of changes there, and they had to end the panel with something cool. That we've been talking about this fucking thing for years. No matter what it looked like, I'm happy it's out, and they're gonna touch upon it. And it's so early that we're gonna hear more about it till New York. So
Eric said he's still trying to figure out the deco for it. Like he hasn't even, they haven't even come up with that. So it's going to change. I know there's a lot of people talking about the front end of it, but one of the things
about it. Maybe he'll change it, right?
Like, maybe
he has time. Maybe he can change it.
Well, it can't be a Trans Am because that's the thing in the 80s, and you'll see this in a lot of comments, is they didn't have to care about like intellectual property and stuff like that. Like you could just make something that looks like a Corvette and sell it without having to pay Chevy.
Correct.
So that's the thing with this is Pontiac, you can't make a Trans Am. You're gonna owe that. Do they even Pontiac? Is that even still a company? You still owe somebody money for making a Trans Am front end. So that's why it looks like an Ostriker that got stolen. But that it might not be at the end of the day this. So just don't overreact is all I'm saying. And you're right. Eric's a great dude. We should talk about the new team as well when you get a chance.
Definitely. What are your thoughts?
But this is gonna change quite a bit. I mean, they pretty much without saying too much about how the intent seemed like it was that this is still in development.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I could echo the same thing about the front. I believe Pop Cold Frenzy said it almost looks like a funny car, like the drag racers that get all pointy down to the front the way.
Yeah.
It just once you see it, you can't unsee it, and so that's what happened to me. He was correct. The thing about the licensing for the Pontiac, and maybe again, it just would cost that much more money, is I've seen in a couple different places people talking about that the Transformers G.I. Joe the Soundwave has that actual front end, the one that transforms. And if you look at it, it's the one. But I mean, obviously, maybe that's a different thing.
They had the licensing for GM with Transformers because GM held the rights, or GM was the property that got the movie rights. So that's why all the cars in Transformers 1 were GM products. That's why Bumblebee wasn't a Bug and it was a Camaro, because they had basically GM was paying for part of the movie by putting their product into it. Anyways, we've seen this rights thing not only with the Pontiac, but this is why why Gung Ho doesn't have the Marine Corps crest on his chest. This is why we don't see some of the insignias and things that we had from the OG line, is because they have to pay the rights on all of those, which means that the figures are going to go up even higher.
It just feels like you can make up the shape of a car that isn't that, but still looks like it. Antonio Spock says, I live in Hungary, folks. We had the October Guard for 45 years. Interesting. G.I. Dave says, you silly, it's Thrasher. I actually think it's okay that, for me personally, that Thrasher doesn't come with it, because what I think he said was you might want to buy 2 or 3 of these, and then you're stuck with 3 Thrashers. Right. And I probably am not going to buy 2 or 3 of these, but he also said it's wicked customizable. So you're going to have certainly, obviously, those rocket launchers can come off. Maybe that front bumper with those spikes comes off. You can make it whatever you want, and you can maybe make 3 of them if you really wanted to. And I think that's sort of what he said. If that is true, I think that's a great philosophy for this thing, because you honestly could have a row of Thunder Machines. That would be pretty wild. And have
that's
them all,
sacrilege.
It can't look the same. They'd have to look different. And then, you don't want a Thrasher. The other thing is psychologically, they're dropping the price by $27. It's just psychological, because you're going to buy that Thrasher figure. So it's really, you're going to eventually pay that $27. But what do you think?
And that was one of the things B-Max said. They wanted to be able to be as cheap as possible for us, and, to be not just customizable.
Yeah.
And now, that's why there's not a figure. Do I think that there should be other Thunder Machines? No. I want my Thunder Machine, and I as a Dreadnought, I want that Thunder Machine that I'm accustomed to. But is it cool that you can turn this into other things, and build different types of vehicles that would fit in an Armada with the Thunder Machine? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I love that modular ability. I think that idea, as well as having the figure separate in these vehicle packs, is great. But I just dislike that they're doing it necessarily with this one. Now, again, Mark, you and I talked about it. Sure, definitely give me the figure separately. 100%. They should do that with every vehicle, right? Don't give me that figure. I'll buy it if I want it separately. But I feel like the Thunder Machine is one. And if you try, there's just me personally, I would change it as much as I could. And then now we have proper, Dreadnought vehicles. We can have, all of our Dreadnoughts in these vehicles. And I do think that is cool. But it's the irony of like, oh, this is the vehicle they decided to do that on because one is so synonymous with the other, like, you know, Thunder Machine and Thrasher. But hey, at least they're stepping in the right direction in terms of what we're.
I wish I would have thought of this at Comic-Con, because I would have said something to Eric and to BMAC about it. Instead of a figure, it should come with a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay, I mean, they just give us the motorcycle, you know.
But even if it just
that would have made this so expensive. The whole point of not having the figure is to keep the price down. But actually, I like the comment. It's still going to be $200. They're probably going to charge you for the figure without the figure and make money on the Thrasher. I would have included an army builder. Yeah. There's a lot of extent. They said they're ready to jump extended family oxen out there. Chaos, they come with Matt. I mean, they gave Zanya a Casey Jones
mask.
They could have came with a Chaos. They could have came with an army builder. So that way, I don't like the fact that now we're getting a vehicle without a figure. That was one of the questions in our interview, but I wasn't there, so I don't know what the answer to that was. So stay tuned. The Toy Kind of Moon's going to have an interview with them. I produced it. I'm not allowed on the property. So, but they asked about whether it comes with a non-Thrasher character, because they didn't say in the panel it doesn't come with a figure. They just said it doesn't come with Thrasher.
Right, it said it didn't come with Thrasher. I mean, I don't think they're gonna. I agree. I don't think they're gonna put a named character there. You might get a generic Dreadnought, like a biker dude,
right?
Which could be his co-pilot. Yeah,
much better.
Trust me. If you put a generic Dreadnought in there and he's wearing a biker vest that's got Dreadnoughts on the back, done. I'm buying 3 or 4 of these things.
Yeah, you're not getting a figure with
masks.
No, you're not getting a figure with it at all.
You're not getting a figure. Because they need to lower the price. They know, and the only way they're allowed
people are going to buy it. I mean,
$25.
This is a made-to-order figure. I mean, made-to-order vehicle.
Well, the Arctic Hiss is made to order and comes with a figure. So why would you break that?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
If this comes in under $100, you'll understand why.
This should not be 200. This is not as big as the Arctic Hiss. It should not be the price of the Arctic Hiss. So I'm going to be pissed.
It's going to be bigger than the Ostriker and the Van.
But it's not going to be bigger than
the
Arctic Hiss, right?
It is. No,
it's not going to be bigger than the Hiss.
It might be longer. It might be as long. Yeah.
Width is what counts, though, as the girls say.
I
don't think that does not add up. Longer does not make, because it's like really about the plastic, right? How much plastic? There's no way that is more plastic than a Hiss tank. No
You're
way.
gonna get less plastic than the Arctic Hiss, and they're
I'll
gonna
bet you
charge
it
you
is.
the same.
I'll bet you it is by pieces. Because remember, it's not just the plastic; it's the mold too. So by pieces, that's more than the Hiss tank.
I don't see it at all.
Well, look at each side. Each flap is a piece. The roll cage is a piece on the front. The flames
not
are
following
a piece
you.
on
I
the
mean,
back.
the volume of plastic, like the just overall size and volume of the thing, is going to be bigger. There's no way that's as big as his thing. And it comes
you're
with
talking
a
about
figure.
big. I thought you
and
were
it's
sorry.
200.
It's 150.
150.
I'll bet you.
If this is
125 to 150.
There's no way it's 125. No way in any world.
No, but I think 150 without a figure is awful. It should come with a figure, period.
If it's 150 with a figure, I think that's pretty good, guys.
I
would say that.
There's no way
Wasn't
it's less
the Stinger
than
like 100? Like 105?
The Stinger.
But of course,
that's like
we were talking 3 years ago.
3 years
4 years
ago.
ago.
It was 105, but now the despoiler is 105 too. So
110.
That's true.
110, yeah. So
108.99.
I think you're screwed. Yeah, which I still haven't got mine, by the way. Still
I
not.
know.
That is Destro, not
man.
Destro.
I have the worst luck of
crazy.
getting shit from places, man. I never get it. Anything from anywhere on time. I'm like the last guy. I would be I'm good I don't do reviews because I would be the last person to get everything.
I feel like, look, we have a hard time getting them out here, and there's a freaking Port of LA close by, and we still have a hard time getting them. Early
I pre-ordered it, and it's on, and now so I don't want to buy another one. It's on Amazon, like right now. It'll be here in 2 days.
Amazons are always coming early. The Dr. Rockclaw came almost a month and a half earlier on Amazon than it did from Hasbro.
Yeah, sorry if I do Amazon.
Rayne, the stuff comes from Illinois, from Hasbro, so that's why if we're in the West Coast, it takes an extra week after like the East Coast and Midwest reviewers and stuff. So they get it
I know.
like at least 5 business days early.
Yeah, I was
What?
making a joke because with the Port of LA, usually that stuff comes in here and then it gets shipped to there and then comes back to here.
Yeah, the only thing that did
Same in Earth,
was
okay.
HasLabs, and then the last HasLab was all over the place. There was
Yep.
people in New York that got it the same day as Kansas, that got the same day as Long Beach, and I didn't get the was it Rattler, right? We're talking about that was the
Yep.
last one.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The Rattler, I got that way fucking after a lot of people, and you know
I did
I'm
too.
in LA, so
I did
yeah,
too.
yeah. And then I knew someone who in El Segundo who got it like first, and they're like we're only like 20 miles from them, 30 miles from them, so it's
Because I think
bizarre.
the distribution center is out in the middle of Empire.
Where do you guys order from? Because
No, we're talking about the
mostly
Hasbro.
Hasbro.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm talking.
Yeah, we're
We-
just talking about Hasbro. Yeah,
But where do you order shit from in general?
everywhere. Whoever
Everywhere.
ships first gets
Yeah.
here first. The rest get canceled.
Well, when you pre-order, you
Um,
never know when you're gonna get it, and it's always like, you know, that's what happens. You can pre-order, then you're locked
I always
in.
go to Hasbro first,
Right.
and then if I have to, I'll go to the other ones.
Hasbro's one of the worst.
Dude.
They were like
the
one of
slow.
the,
Get me
you're
started.
getting it like the last if you get it
Yeah.
from Hasbro, dude.
Not only that, like Pulse itself, like so they came out with Psych Out and the Range Viper that was last week, right? The Wednesday. And so I was there. I have the premium membership. I was there. I added them all to my cart. I went to go check out, and this thing comes up and says, "Oh, we can't process the checkout because we may be experiencing a high volume something." Now, apparently, you're supposed to switch to PayPal if that happens, and just use PayPal, and it'll go through. Well, I didn't know that, so I'm refreshing, trying to do it, and then all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, yeah, we were just about to check you out, but one or more items in your cart is sold out." So everything was sold out. Now, I ordered it from Walmart, and you would think, "Oh, well, what's the big deal? You got it from Walmart." Walmart sucks ass. They're like the worst.
Cancel
They
your
just
shit
cancel.
all the
They just
time.
cancel
Well,
shit. I ordered.
Here's a little secret.
I've gotten 25% of the stuff I've ordered from them. I'm not like a
Don't-
regular. If it's in stock, they send it. But pre-orders, I've gotten 25% of the pre-orders. 75%
Don't
of the
use
shit
the
they
app.
canceled. I'm not kidding.
That's
Don't
like
use
this.
the app.
This,
We're gonna
this
order-
shit almost came out, almost missed it. I had to go 5 different websites.
Yeah, right.
5
Same.
different websites.
Same.
I had to go
I
somewhere
was
for
I
20 minutes.
I was able to get it right on Hasbro, but I was right there.
Oh yeah, but I
Don't
eventually did
use
get
the
it
app.
on. I think
Use the
Entertainment Art.
website. Go to the website link because the
Oh,
app
doesn't
is
help,
slower
man.
than the website.
Yeah, I use the website. I don't use apps for anything really, but
Yeah.
So this thing, this figure, absolutely loved it. I was very, very, very sad for the moment when I thought I wasn't going to get one because it was going out of sale. But
I had a buddy that had the same thing.
same.
That was trying Finally, I think he got it at GameStop, but everything else was just like every time he went to it was sold out immediately.
I was having trouble. I went back and forth all day. Plus, I was working and I had somebody with me, so it was like I couldn't be tethered to my phone. We were literally swinging lumber. I couldn't look. And every time I pop back on, somebody was like, "Oh wait, it popped up again here." And then I would go there and it'd be sold out. And then I think all at once, like 3 different people, Country Gentleman, I think Pop Cold Frenzy, and somebody at Dan Salcedo, my brother Dan, he actually texted me the link. It was like, and I happened to be able to take my phone up and was like, "Oh, there we go," and I was able to get it. Pop Cold Frenzy says she's back up on Amazon, so if anybody missed out.
Oh, nice. Okay. I mean, whatever. A lot of times, you like can't get something in like 2 weeks later. You can get it on Walmart or something like that. I find that with the Dire Vipers, I missed them on the Dire Night Creeper, but then like I'd have 3 of them now because I was able to snag a few. But what do you think? You saw this thing in person, right? Sorry, Destro. What do you say?
No, so I was just going to say my most recent thing with them was I had an order of 4 Night Creepers and then a separate order of 2 just in case, right? Well, they straight up canceled the order of 4. Then the order of 2, it was like, "Oh, we're shipping these." Here, they took the money. I was like, "Oh, okay, this is great." Well, you're not paying attention. Like 10 days go by, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, I never got those things." So I look up, boom, it's like, "Oh, shipped, no new information," and it was like 10 days ago. So I wound up having to call, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, no, we're just gonna have to cancel that because we have no idea. There's no tracking number, so wherever it is, they're still there, and we don't know where that is." I'm like, "Yeah, but it says right here, somewhere in Kentucky," and they were like, "Yeah, but we can't help you." And I was like, "So here's the problem: they're now sold out unless you want to pay $48 a piece on your website. They've gone up an additional $20 a piece." I said, I don't think that's right. You canceled these 4, you did these 2. And so what the guy actually did was I had to go and buy the 2 at $48 a piece. It came like $106. And then they gave me a phone number and a code that when I got the new ones, all I had to do was call and give them this code, and they were going to take the difference off. It was like 40, it was literally like $46 difference. And so they did find a solution for me. Usually you call for something like that and they're just like, get fucked. Sorry. Don't know what to tell you.
Well,
And,
I've had where I've had things got canceled from Hasbro because of credit cards or whatever. And
they canceled my Snowcat. I ordered 2.
I emailed them.
They canceled
and
one.
They fixed it.
The fuck? Okay.
Email them back and tell them what happened and everything, and they'll fix it most of the time.
So you guys saw this one in person. How's she look? How's she looking, Travis?
She looks good.
Yeah,
They invested a lot in her molds. They said that this mold is going to get used quite a bit.
Okay.
So I guarantee you that
makes
means
sense.
we're going to get a couple Dreadnought females. Who knows who else we'll get, in a different outfit or something. But yeah, they said that this mold that they really like this mold and they invested a lot.
Yeah.
Chameleon Energon. There you go.
Yeah,
I
they
know.
put her in the comic. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I know I like it because I bought 2 of them and didn't complain about that high ass price because it's just a carded figure. Like it's not.
Well,
yes, there's a good amount
She's
of
not
extras
just in
there.
Energon. She's going to be in. She's in GI Joe 330.
Yeah, she's in the
American Hero
Hama.
330.
She's
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
Hama.
no, I was saying that Chameleon from Energon can be built on.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
The body, obviously,
Chameleon
she doesn't have a tank top. She doesn't have shorts, but it says as far as the mold.
But you
So
also
face
now
is
you have the
great.
hair mold and all these other things where you can do different things because
Yeah.
here I found this out a few years ago. They don't share molds at Hasbro. So
Yeah.
if it's a Marvel Legend
No.
mold, it's a Marvel Legend mold. If it's a classified mold, it's a classified mold. So that's why Marvel Legends has certain things because they've also been doing it twice as long or 3 times as long.
Melty Cover wants a
But-
pyramid boob variant. I want a pyramid boob variant, and I'm not even kidding.
Listen, I think they should have leaned into Mega Honkers. I think it would have looked awesome. 100%.
Lara Croft is known for 2 things.
Right. Dual wielding pistolas and giant
Or
honkers.
4 things, I guess.
Look, they've already said they're not going to be able to do the bikini girl the girls from the Cold Slither episode. They're not going to do Lady J in a bikini or any of these. They're not. If they're not going to do those, they're not going to do the Baroness in a bikini. They're not going to make
satin.
huge honkers.
Give us satin.
What kind of world is this?
That was
That we're living
almost done.
Oh, really? That would have been cool.
Well, back when Cold Slither got discussed, that a companion pack with Satin, Shipwreck, Snake Eyes, and the Pets was going to be a companion pack that was done for like PulseCon or something.
That would have been a flop. Because that would have had to be what 125, 120, 150.
Maybe, yeah. But the problem was that they couldn't figure out they couldn't get the hats to stay on, the animals, and they couldn't get they couldn't get Timber to stand up in the dancing position.
I gotta tell you,
So,
I don't know that
it
I
got
want
shelved.
like it would be funny to have the Snake Eyes as dressed as Boy George, but I ain't paying $28 for Snake Eyes dressed as Boy George.
Right.
Classified prices for that.
Do you know there's probably a lot of people that would?
Yeah, well,
maybe,
dude, I mean,
About as many people that want that Shipwreck and Cadet Deming set.
yeah,
I knew you were going to say that.
right.
I think I want that more than I want the Shipwreck and Cadet Deming.
Speaking
That
of
would be
prices,
wow.
didn't anybody see that I don't know. Listen, Super 7 makes some amazing shirts. This is one of them. I've got a bunch of them. But those reaction figures, like they're charging $22 for the little guy. And then did you see they just dropped the Trouble Bubble with the guy? And it's just as much as the classified, which I don't know. Maybe I don't know
$50?
enough to know
How much is
why
it?
that's the case. It's fucking crazy. Yeah,
I almost thought it was the
$55.99, same
classified
price.
when I walked up to the booth.
This is
Travis,
insane.
you do the Super 7? You do Super 7 at all? Or?
Fuck no. And I usually buy their shirts, and even their shirts weren't that great this year, and they were out of my sizes anyway. So
that
it
sucks.
saved me some.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Usually, like I've got this one that's the Hiss tank, and it's red and blue. And then I also have a Rattler, and they were putting out the same year that the HasLabs were coming out, and so it was really cool to get those and have them there. But yeah, their shirts this year, I usually pick up one from them, and I didn't get anything.
Same.
This one is the concert T-shirt. We can get into that later if you want.
Yeah, I'm excited for Lara Croft. That's for sure. I think that looks pretty great.
Lara Croft is awesome. She looks great too.
Definitely.
So you guys also saw the Snowcat. How's that looking there?
Ooh,
Snowcat. It's big. It's big. They had it next. They had a Hiss tank. So off to camera's right, there is a Hiss tank. The white Hiss tank, and it's as big as the Hiss tank, if not bigger.
Well, that's it. Yeah. So I wonder what it's going to look like. So this is the Atlas from Mo's mind, and that you can't really tell from the angle, but you could put the Hiss inside of that. Height, width, length, everything is bigger. So I want to know how big that's. I mean, the Snowcat looks great.
It's gorgeous. I love it. I'm so glad I ordered it.
Oh, me!
It's too big. It's way too big.
Is it too big?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, at least you're getting your money's worth, so to speak. But it didn't have to be that. It didn't have to be that big. It feels.
Well, if you look at the snake armor next to it, like the snake armor looks like it fit in the front, just the front portion alone, which makes it fucking huge. So that's interesting. But yes, the sentiment that they could have just gave it to us at $150 and had it like a regular size. I think that
even 200,
200,
right, for sure.
But all that snow on there, that doesn't come with it. It's frosted as a frosted windshield. But they dumped a bunch of effects like snow all over their figures to make them look cool. But it doesn't come with any of that stuff. So it's kind of a bait and switch.
It does have the frosted windshield though, right?
Frosted windows, but none of the
one with the
white powder.
Yeah, looking at it, you don't need the back. Does not need all that space to house that one missile launcher.
Right.
You could have shortened that and tightened that up and made.
Did you guys see? I don't know if they were like moving it around at all, but does the bivouac stow in the little things on the side there? I thought I remember hearing that a couple times. That the bivouac.
I remember hearing them say that, but the way they had it was the bivouac was on the shelf above it, and then they had like. They had a dio set up of the bivouac, and then everything that comes with it. And I think they had Lady J or something hanging off the edge of the shelf. But it was it was set up so it looked as big as the back end. So if it fits, sure, because they said it was going to. I think.
Champagne Brian says Snowcat is going to be the high watermark of classified because it's going to be beyond nuts, but they'll never go this far again. I feel like the Rattler was that. The Rattler is beyond nuts.
The Rattler is much more impressive. Yeah.
It's insane. It's so big that it honestly is like.
But it's fun.
It's fun, but honestly, I have almost no use for it. It's almost like kind of up my ass like half the time.
And it's huge.
It's way too big. Yeah.
It's fucking gorgeous though. It's like
it's gorgeous.
You're like it's up my ass, but it is like you're not like oh, it wasn't worth $400 or $300. It was $300, right? It was like it's worth it. Like you couldn't have made the Rattler smaller, and it's
everything about the Rattler is perfect.
The fire effect in the side is one of the best things I've ever seen.
Oh, that is very cool. Dude, I don't know what it is that the Hiss is still my favorite. The way it folds down in the back, I don't know, man. From the minute I saw that thing, I've just been obsessed with it. It's amazing. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, you can play with the Hiss tank easily.
Right.
You can't play with the Rattler easily, and that makes the Hiss tank, I think, the best one. So,
that right there tells you, why another reason why they're not going to go with some of these other bigger, like the Sky Striker and things like that, vehicles for HasLabs and whatnot. It's because you're not going to have them out. You're not going to display them. You're not going to want to play with them. They're too big.
I would. Well, if you had a whale, you could play with that. I just think the aerial aspect of things makes them hard to play with because you can't lift and carry. But something that
if the whale floats, yes.
Yeah. but they or even like a GI Joe headquarters or something. You know, you lay it out, you can play with it. Yeah, it's big, but I don't mind big. He said in the video today the HasLab is scheduled to return in 2029. Nice. Okay. I don't know why they wouldn't do another HasLab. They all sold out. They all sold well. This
well,
was
they
the
did
only
announce
one that
so
had
the
a little
HasLab
bump.
program's not dead because Transformers is getting ready to do one.
Yeah.
So I think
Star
they
Wars
just
2.
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Star Wars 2. Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna do them. They're just I think they're taking a break, but I think this made to order thing is ideal. I think it's a great idea. Well, let's talk
it's
about
an easy way for them to gauge it.
Yeah, a lot of the shit was not new, so I feel like we can kind of go over unless you want to talk about anything you saw that you like blew you away. Yeah,
I was actually more impressed with the Triple T when I saw it than I was originally.
Oh yeah, okay. I mean, yeah. What's your feelings? What's your feelings in the Triple T, Travis?
Do you have a picture of it?
I do. Just dial that up.
Putting you to work because I kind of want to see it visually.
Even with the shield on it, it looks better than I thought it would.
This is from
there we go. Well, I wanted to ask them about the functionality of it. Because see the lights, how those used to come off the vamp, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that comes off. The canopy color looks beautiful. Working treads are fun. It only fits, I thought this was going to be so much bigger, and I think it's the perfect, size. So because the way Full Force, my buddy Chris was like, oh, I was blown away. I was like, and it's big. In person, it wasn't small. It was like a perfect classified size where a lot of things I was afraid it was going to be like a his tank size or something ridiculous and fit other people in it, but it's a one-man vehicle. That's the only thing. So I think the whole point is to have the Marauders hanging off it or other people getting run over or something like that. But yeah, this was the most impressive thing they had, not as far as scale but as far as like combining authenticity from what we had as a kid to being classified up. So I think they did. I just want to know more about how it really functions, and I am disappointed because I asked for it in the panel and they wouldn't give it to me. So
you also asked for it in the booth too, because I was there when you did that.
I asked for it twice and got shut down twice. I don't have a contract with them. What can I say?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm glad it's the size it was because I was afraid it was going to be too big because we've seen it with the spoiler and some of these others that just seem like they're not necessarily unnecessarily too big, but they're just larger than I would like them to be.
Agreed. The spoiler didn't need to be that big either.
With this one, there's actually a military vehicle that's very, very similar to this that has a cannon that sits on top of it that fires. So when they went to the smaller version and the stockier look to it, it looks more like what the real vehicle looks like. And they made sure to tell us that the treads actually roll.
The treads do roll.
Treads do roll.
Yep. And then the back flips down for a command center, which G.I. Dave called out. They had pictures of that somewhere. I mean, I think it's a good version of a vehicle that's kind of dopey. It's like a good. It's just. I think the canopy was necessary. I think they're thinking the right way, and the fact that you can take it off caters to those people who want it to be exactly like it was in '86, which I do not. I do 100%. Not have any interest in things.
Look, it's the classified line, not the real American Hero line.
Yeah, although, granted, it's like you could argue, well, the Thunder Machine now, doesn't look like we're all complaining it doesn't look like it, but it's just more that it looks stupid. It's not that it doesn't look like the one we got. If they made it cooler, but it looks dumb, I don't know. But hopefully, it looks better. The rendering
is not great.
Yeah,
I mean.
Maybe. What are your thoughts?
To show a car from the front end and the back end, it's hard to angle it where you see everything.
What are you saying, Travis?
I was just going to say that the biggest problem with this Triple T is that it isn't a landmark display piece. Like, this is literally the thing that they are bringing from the panel, bringing to the booth. We all rushed from the panel to the booth to see them insert the Hiss tank. The Dragonfly, the Rattler, the Snowcat, and then now we get this, and it's this big. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think
we're complaining about how?
I was just saying, do you think that the move to Boston is affecting the way, is the amount of toys and that we're seeing this year, or the
Yeah,
way we're seeing
yeah,
them?
that's possible. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, they probably just had not. I mean, they were handicapped. They had to force the Thunder
Mhm.
Machine as a render. This is the best they could do, right? Because they, like you said, this was like an off year, a lot of repaints. We got the HAL, we got the HAL, we got the Triple T, we got a lot of vehicles, and we got a despoiler, but we got a lot of everything else is like a repaint, pretty much.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot
So-
of things that have to deal with it. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I agree. Logistics are going to
The
be
state
tough
of
this year.
the
It's an off
world
year.
economy
Yeah.
could be a factor to what's going on right now.
Yeah, I agree.
The move, just there's a lot of things that it could be, but I don't feel like the line's dying. I don't feel like it's dead. I don't feel like they're trying to skimp on what they give us too much. I think they've instead of giving us a whole lot, they're trying to give us things that not only would sell, but also to give us something in hand for this year.
It feels like
we're
they
getting another
front
trouble
loaded
bubble.
with like the big stuff that had a lot of stuff in it, like the Royal
Right.
Cobra Cobra Laws. Because like you look at that, and it's like comes with so much. Then you got Rugged Duke, and he's got like 3 guns, like 2 guns and a knife. And it's like there's no reason he shouldn't be loaded out a little bit more than that. You know what I mean? It's just like it just feels like they're chinsing out right now. But maybe
the line
you
isn't
could say
dying,
that with any
but
line.
it's not. It's the line isn't dying, but it's definitely going down. It like going down. It could be going down just like this, but it's definitely not going up. I mean, I fucking love GI Joe, but like we're over 200 something. We got most of the key vehicles. People are quitting, selling off their collections, or they're content. I got my OG-13. I'm done. Like we laughed at those people, but I actually started to believe them now because there's new characters. I love Synapse. I love Sundown. Just to set the table there. I like Lara Croft in the line, but there's a lot of reaching and a lot of repaints, and that's not going to be okay with everybody. Like we're all hardcore. We're on YouTube. We're talking about it, but you got to think about everyone out there. Not everyone's okay with that. Not everyone wants 6 versions of this character, 6 versions of this vehicle. Like it's very slow. They gave us 7 name only reveals, 1 digital render, and that's way early off. Like you said, they're still working on that digital render. Like it is. I don't want to say it's dying, but it's stalling. How about that? It's stalling.
Yeah, because I feel like last year it hit its height. I think.
Last year's hard to follow up.
Yeah, it was like phenomenal. We had the polar bear, we had the armor, we had vehicles, we had we had some of their best figures ever. We had like surprises like the Ghost Viper, shit like that.
Agreed.
And then it's like this year, it's just kind of like it's like I don't know. So I'm really
that's
hoping
happened with all of their lines.
They need to learn.
I mean,
they need to learn a little bit.
Marvel Legends, which has been around forever now. They have their laws. When Star Wars hits it all the time, so does Transformers. Because there's
they hit the low because they hit their like how many fucking Wolverines can you put out?
Well, that's
right.
Right.
And we're getting there with Snake Eyes. It's like how many million fucking Snake Eyes?
Well, the big difference is people will buy, including me, will buy a lot of Wolverines because of that new articulation, that new deco. But Snake Eyes has a lot of versions. But if you want to redo number of V1, V2, we don't even have V3 yet, but V2, you want to redo these with new articulation, updated deco. I don't think Joe fans are into that. Like you'll take a million Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man appeals to kids. Wolverine is on X-Men 97 in the movies. We don't have G.I. Joe characters in anything yet, so you can't just keep pumping out Snake Eyes the way that you can Wolverine and Spider-Man. It's 2 different worlds. You have to go deep. You got to, you know what I mean? Like get into repaint territory in different ways. You can't re-release figures. There's a difference between re-release and repaint. Like the early versions of Snake Eyes, V1 and V2, they can't come out with that and sell as much as they can, another Captain America, because that crowd that's into Marvel Legends is into posing. You know what I mean? Like they're into photography. It's a different. I think Joe collectors love that stuff too, but nowhere near as like, hey, look at the butterfly. Like G.I. Joe reviewers don't even talk about that shit. Like it's so different than like watching Unparalleled Universe or D Amazing, where the whole thing is about feel and articulation. G.I. Joe, it's about deco and accessories. It's two different worlds to me in a way.
You're
So
right. Star Wars collectors are
Yeah.
like that too, because every time there's a new, updated character like Princess Leia or Luke Skywalker or whatever, where the face is different or the articulation is different or the build is different, they have to have that figure immediately because it's the better version of what they have.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe hasn't hit that yet. We would want more variety than more of the same.
Well, that's what it is. It's like the repaints in a vacuum are fine. It's just that right now we feel like we're getting more of that than the new stuff.
I agree, yeah.
Like 87, 88, 89, 90, maybe even some in 91. There's freaking 70 figures that I would buy, and then it's throw a little bit more of those in. Like that one retro wave with the Grunt, the Techno Viper, and Wild Bill. It was like, man, you should maybe space those out, right? Like, we have a Techno Viper. Maybe you put some newer, so I don't know, something, you know what I mean? Just spice up. I'll buy the repaints. Just don't fucking drown me in them at once.
Destro, that's a Destro Design. That's a great point because, say, Marvel Legends Secret Wars pack, right? Almost all of those figures have been out in Marvel Legends like a handful of times, and no one is complaining that you get. Everyone complains. Right. But like the overwhelming response to Secret Wars is good, even great. Compare that to Retro, where they're giving us Wild Bill, Techno Viper, and Grunt, and that was so across the board. Was like, unless you needed a Wild Bill or you're so OG-13 that you need that Grunt, nobody asked for another Techno Viper. They were even on sale. So like that's such a different crowd, different reaction than, hey, I got my symbiote Spider-Man in my Silver Surfer for the 10th time. Right. And people were pretty happy about getting that from Secret Wars or retro carded, whatever, compared to Joe. It's a different response, a different audience.
But you also have to remember that Marvel Legends has been doing this for 15 plus years. So they have a plethora of molds that they can go through and mix and match and twist and turn and do whatever. Where G.I. Joe only has a finite amount of molds. And in order to get a new mold, we have to have 2 or 3 repaints. Because the new molds are expensive. It's even expensive if you're going to tweak a mold where you're going to, you have a peg hole here, but you don't want it there now, so you have to seal it off and redo it.
But Marvel Legends will make their whole 1 or 2 years based on the Vulcan buck, the Bucky buck. Like their main characters are based on the same buck for years, and they have the Disney help, the Marvel help that it's not just funded by Hasbro. So, and they have media tie-in. So I get what you're saying, but I don't know.
But you just said it right there. The other thing is they also have the IP buy-ins where G.I. Joe is a in-house IP. So they're not getting the money from Hasbro, from Lucasfilm, or the money that GameStop's giving them because they want to have a Lucasfilm figure in their stores. They're going basically off of, this is G.I. Joe. We own this. We have no outside money coming into this. So we have to
look at Doomsday. The trailer was out 2 days ago, and the figures are out today to pre-order. Energon has been out for how long as a comic, and we have a fake Duke from that. It's called Rugged Duke because Lenny was making Energon Duke, and he wasn't allowed to come out with them yet, so he had to make it Resolute Energon Duke, and it's a great Duke. It looks cool. I saw a B's review. It's awesome, but it's not tied into the media because they're so behind when it comes to tying in stuff. So
I'll tell you, Rugged Duke is another one of those figures that I didn't want until I saw him in person, and now I want that.
I'm hit or miss with him, but I think G.I. Joe is closest to, if you look at when Motu Classics came out. Motu Classics, totally right. by the end of Motu Classics, they went so deep. They have done every character ever. They have done every minor character that ever showed up in the cartoon or a comic book or anything. And they took them several years to do it. And that's kind of where we need to do, I think G.I. Joe needs to do too. Yeah, you're right. You can't be just putting out 400 Snake Eyes. And that's what they did.
Speaking of
They
Motu.
didn't do that. They put out cool ass, like real deep cuts from the cartoon.
Yeah.
You know, and made 'em,
Destro,
look
did you see that video I sent you of the Motu booth? That little quick one.
Yeah.
It's got the new merman and Clawful in
Yeah.
it.
I'm
That
loving what
merman
they're
is-
doing. Well, now what Master? Well, I actually love Mattel. Travis, you kind of working with Mattel, right? Or is that? I don't know if that's.
Yeah,
but,
no, that's fine. I know at their private toy fair for vendors and retailers, I am one of their presenters. I've done WWE. I'm assuming that's where I'm back.
Oh, nice.
So is to present in the fall, and I was hired to do that. I've said it on air with people working
Yeah, I
at
thought
Mattel.
so. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
I guess
I'll
it's
let
you-
okay.
my
Can I
daughter's one of
comment
their
on a
top-
comment?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
My daughter's one of their top cosplayers who is in with them. So yeah,
That's awesome too.
like you. I
do you
have a close connection to Mattel.
Okay, Travis.
I do want to comment on GI Joe Guy 84's. Can you throw that up? Thanks, Mark.
Forgetting the comic book
You're
figures.
forgetting that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna take his side for a second. They are gonna be hesitant for media tie-ins because of the Snake Eyes movie. The difference is the Snake Eyes movie was not. It is a movie, and we're talking comics. So movie is here for Hasbro. Comics are way the fuck down here. But there's a difference in how they are received. The Skybound panel for Energon that I went to at Comic-Con. Were you there, RA Rayne?
I didn't get to go to that one, but I
yeah,
heard
that was a full room, and Snake
Yeah.
Eyes movie never had a panel, maybe overseas in Singapore or something where they shot, but they never did any real media for that other than a red carpet.
There was nothing at
and
Comic-Con
also-
for it that year.
Yeah, and I think Energon, you have Robert Kirkman. They're making an animated series. There's a difference. I'm not just saying some one-off comic like the Tomb Raider thing or something. I'm talking about these Energon thing is a whole world, a whole universe. You got Robert Kirkman. Joshua Williamson's the #1 writer in comics, in my opinion, between his work in DC and here. Like, you got all-star, amazing artists. You got Skybound. They make Invincible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these guys are doing it's just way different than just some comic thing. And also, I would never
they
do a
have more
whole wave of
creative
comics.
control than they would if one of the bigger ones.
But I would never do a whole wave of comic Joes. They should learn, pepper in the different stuff, right? An old school character, a new character, an Energon character. Like, you don't do a whole wave. I agree with that.
But you also got to start out with your Dukes and your Snake Eyes, your Cobra Commanders, anything like that from the Energon universe is going to sell well. But the first thing you do is you don't change the packaging. If you're going to make it in your same classified packaging, once you change it into a separate packaging, it becomes on a different peg or a different location in the store.
I agree.
Unless you are a movie and you have a good tie-in and a good marketing tie-in, you're not going to do well changing the packaging.
I'm also fine with them, like, instead of doing a line of comic book action figures, just pulling inspiration and pulling in cool figures. Because you're saying the comic book figures, but I think the comic book figures will sell well if they're just cool figures. Like, I don't know if
they are going to sell well as cool figures. Just throw the Skybound
Helix
logo
is
in
a great
corner.
idea. Helix is a great pull for that because she is a comic book character. Comic character. There's never been a live action or an animated version of her at all. But she's kind of.
I feel like she was in Resolute or Renegade.
No, she was not. She wasn't. Resolute was before her.
She was just in the video game for Rise of Cobra.
A video game. Sorry, it was Rise of
Cobra. Yeah, that's what she was created for. So she's not quite a comic book character. But like Dawn Moreno, I think Dawn Moreno sold fine. And she's a complete 100% comic book character. She's
100%. So I wouldn't worry about
comic book
figures
to the waves. If you don't do like a whole, you're not going to put like 6 months worth of wave out that is them. You're going to pepper them
and
in.
Also,
yeah.
Oh, DC Comics and Marvel Comics, like their whole lines are based on. People don't like the MCU in the Superman and Supergirl figures. They want the comic figures when it comes to McFarlane. They want the comic figures when it comes to Marvel Legends. So I wouldn't underestimate comic figures at all.
No, especially since like we're really just looking for cool figures at this point. I don't think people really care where they came from. I feel like when a Helix came out, I barely knew who she was, and it's like, so. Speaking of which, let's talk about the comic book because there's some reveals at the panel, and we got a whole new character revealed, which is possibly coming.
Wait! Before you move on to comics, you're skipping the announcement, the name only figure. It's one of Lenny's last figures he designed for.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sort of jumping around.
We're getting a new Dreadnought, a brand new Dreadnought that's never been released, never been in any other media. We're getting Flatline, and they said that his weapon of choice has defibrillators on it.
Yes, that's very cool. Yeah, no, totally. I'm all for the new guys. No, I'm jumping around. We actually haven't covered anything, to be honest. We missed
but yeah, according to what Hasbro was saying,
a bunch of shit. But so I think I'm like, let's just talk about quickly the. There's a couple of things that I really want to hit. I don't want to talk about everything, but one thing I do want to talk about is the Skybound stuff. I want to talk about what do you think is coming, because they said we're gonna get the next like retro waves are gonna be all from the movie. So what do you think we're going to get that's from the movie, right? So like, you know, what do you think they're referring to here? Because a lot of this stuff, I mean, I imagine we're getting Chuckles, right?
Since it's a retro line, I think we're going to get the additions from the movies. We're going to get the quote unquote retro ones.
Well, but I mean, we certainly aren't going to get Big Lob and Jinx because we just got them.
Might.
Wouldn't even count that out. They might just go retro carded, like you know how WWE does like Saturday night main event, and they just retro card Cody for the 100th Cody. Like they might just do a whole line of retro carded with the movie background and just
totally agree.
Sure. Yep. It's not going to be any new molds in this series. They might update.
No.
Well, what do we need from this movie? Like that.
Well, I think there will be one new mold.
I mean, off the top of my head, I think
he's not going to be
Globulus.
No, he's not going to be retro, but he will be in that 40th anniversary line.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else.
And we might get two
retro
versions
card.
It's like we might get one with the ball and one without. If I was them.
We don't have Cobra Troopers yet. Real retro ones. We did the retro ones that came out are still just classified repaints with the lighter blue, right?
Yeah.
We don't have the actual mold of the old outfit.
In that whole scene right there, we've got a bunch of, snow figures where like mainframe dial tone, they got their jackets on, but I don't know if they're going to try to do it. That would tie in with a lot of the Arctic stuff we're getting, but
they said we are getting more Arctic stuff. They have said
to me, I think it's like if they do all Arctic figures, all they got to do is they should put I think that's the 3-pack they put out. Is sort of a mistake because you got here what I would want out of this 3-pack, right? Is I want this middle body and I want like 10 of them because then you got 10 of these, you can pop off the head and put on the head of every figure you want. Absolutely. So any display you want to go like and have a team out in the Arctic, you could have Shipwreck in the Arctic, but now that you got to buy in this 3-pack, it's sort of like doesn't work. So
except for this if this is the Cobra 3-pack and they do a G.I. Joe Arctic 3-pack where it's two Joes and one new Cobra, other people, you'll sell twice as many.
But you still got, you locked up this one figure. I feel like you need to just put that one figure out in some way, just a body. It could be a body of like one character, and then you got, one female, one male. And then you could
having a team of Arctic Grenadier or not Grenadiers, but Brigade would be awesome.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna get. I think somebody mentioned in here the ones we need. What do we need? We need Chuckles because you didn't get Chuckles. You absolutely need Serpentor. The fact that they don't have Serpentor out, and then Roadblock in the more
agreed. Gray all great choices. Yep.
So I can almost guarantee you that there will definitely be a Serpentor in the more of a gold, just single carded, no chariot or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then we'll definitely get a few of the other things that lend themselves to it. The retro, the Chuckles, because Chuckles has never had a mainline release other than the exclusive that they did, he's almost guaranteed to be, because he also you simply change the colors of his uniform and that you've got it.
Yeah. Well, they basically said they were going to be like the things that you were locked up under exclusive. So, but
so yeah, Serpentor's a lock for that, I would say.
Yeah, because that sucks. Not being able to get that Serpentor is rough if you didn't get
for
one.
sure. And it's the exclusive is like $280 right now.
Yeah, I blew $200 on him because I missed him when he came around, and I was like, had to have him. I think he kind of sucks to have him without gold. It kind of sucks to have him without the chariot, though. You know.
Agreed. It does.
Build a BAT. That would be fun. Yeah, there'd be a lot of building. But all right, so this is the name reveals here. We got a bunch of name reveals, and some of them pretty exciting here. Oh, they said there's a new Dire Trooper coming out. What's your anybody have a theory on what it might be?
Well, they did announce Skybound announced Major Medusa.
It's not her. It's not her.
It's not her.
Nope.
Way too early. We don't even have any Energon figures yet. So
yeah, it's been confirmed.
They love the Dire.
Yeah,
Kevin was saying he loves writing the Dire stuff. So
yeah, it'll be a year from now.
Psych Outs. We're going to get stuff for Psych Out too for the Joe side.
Right.
But
maybe a bat, maybe a Dire bat.
Ooh, Dire bat
would be good.
They love repainting a bat.
And I would honestly,
would be good because that's an easy sale.
I would
reduces minions. What's that?
I would take a Dire Televiper because there's a technology that they're using here. So if you've got your forces that are out in the street and they're doing their thing, you've got maybe one or two of those guys making sure everybody's backpacks are charged up and ready to go. Like all the wrist dispensers for the Dire tech is happening. I would love that.
Dire ramp rats. That's the most boring. That's the most boring idea I've ever heard. I like it.
Someone has Dire regular Viper. That's the one we already have.
Yeah, I like the idea of a Dire female Viper. That would make sense because that would be the same thing as Major Medusa's minions. It's been confirmed it is not Major Medusa though. This is Major Medusa though. So she's been revealed. I think we definitely get a figure of her within the next 3 years.
Oh my god, deluxe.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I wouldn't be surprised if she's a name release or something at New York Comic Con, or if they do HasCon or PulseCon this year.
She's great. She looks great. I mean, that's a fun. Are we gonna get? Is anybody sick of the Dire shit? Are you getting to the point where you're like, I'm done with this Dire shit?
No.
I shockingly really enjoy it. I think it's a cool subline. Like I'm more regular, hard militaristic. Like give me this, Firefly. Like give me that kind of stuff for sure. But for some reason, I think a lot of it has to do with there's a cool idea behind it, right? Like Crystal Ball is a nice looking figure, and instead of him just walking around looking like a street magician, they give him like an army, and I think that's pretty awesome, And they give you enough. Like with the Dire Vipers, they have that one head where it's just like all smooth and black with the little gold thing that comes down like that. See, I put that on there, and now it's like I'm getting the best of both worlds here, where it's like this really awesome soldier that's got this Dire tech that he can use. That he can use it coming out of his wrist. Like the Night Creeper with the full arms. That's a little. I don't want to say too much, but that's a lot on a figure for me like that. But it balances out just enough.
I've taken the extra hands and stuff and put them on the Joes, so like the Joes are looking at it like they're affected by the or by the Dire.
That's cool.
And it expands it out so you can have like your Dire Troopers there and them changing and everything, and the Joes are freaking out because they think it's happening to them.
Right.
15 years ago, Crystal Ball was the butt of the entire G.I. Joe collecting community. So was Cobra La, right? I mean, whatever. Right. Everybody loves it all now.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not. People are like, there's some people who love all eras. I do not love all eras. But did you see this? They actually are finding a way to make this cool, which is Predacon is actually now called Predacron is joining the Void Rivals. Void Rivals is basically a G.I. Joe comic now because it has so much Cobra La.
Yeah.
So it's almost it's almost all Cobra La. as the villains anyway. So you got
Serpentor's Lair said, "How about Dire Zartan?" I think they should do that.
I'd be into Dire Zartan.
The clear color, like from the arms from the Night Creeper Dire. Use those for Zartan and make them blue.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Do you guys have any desire for what is this?
Well, here's your so this right. We talked about Fatal Fluffies. This could be a fun Comic-Con exclusive because it's part of media. It could be pushed by Skybound. It could be the Predacron with another G.I. Joe character. So you got that Void Rivals G.I. Joe crossover. Like would be a good Comic-Con exclusive. You don't need it, right?
Yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah. They could do some deluxe packaging, which that was missing from the Shipwreck set. It was just a regular ass retail packaging on it. So I think that's what made Fatal Fluffy at least fun. You don't have to love it, but the packaging on Fatal Fluffies is amazing. You could do the same thing with Void Rivals meets G.I. Joe meets Skybound. Predacron. Unfortunately, they're just so behind with the ball behind all this stuff. It's going to take more than a year, maybe 2 years. And by then, will we give a shit? We read this comic in a month. That's the problem is with all this stuff. It's just so slow. So old. You know, I get it. It's business. It's legal. It takes. You can't just do it. You can't just make it overnight. I understand, but this is the kind of stuff where it would work out for us in classified if it was at more time.
But well, that's what they used to do. As much as they're overlapping each of the properties, I still feel that each of the titles are so separate that you don't need to read them to keep up with whatever portion of the verse.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, but that's the thing is they used to back in the day. They timed it. They would have Larry Hama would write. He was like, "You got to include the Rolling Thunder in this issue, and you got to include Raptor in this issue." You know what I mean? It's like
right.
If there were just little nods,
if they were more organized, they could probably pull it off, and it would make some sense. But the Void Rivals worth reading. Yeah, it's pretty great, and it's Kirkman himself is writing it.
Yeah.
And that is
how many people are reading Void Rivals and not reading Transformers and G.I. Joe? Like I'm curious about that. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't almost doesn't.
I don't think there's anybody.
Right. That's so
I don't think you would know about it if it was. Most people wouldn't know about it if it wasn't for the others.
Yeah.
I'm reading it for Pythona. Really? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm reading it for Pythona, but you know,
absolutely.
What about so the other big news in the comic that I'm aware of, you guys can tell me what's different is we got Scott Tracker and T-Bob.
Took up a lot of my feed.
Know that I needed a T-Bob.
That T-Bob looks really cool. I like the idea that he's a mech suit, right? I mean, how fucking awesome is that?
Yeah. I don't know. What do you? So we're getting Scott Tracker. I don't know. Is anybody reading the Max books?
Yes.
I am. Any good?
I
have issue 1. I just read issue 1. But I would read it. I mean, I'm like Mask is like we talked about earlier. What your like hierarchy of like your favorite lines is. Mask is like my third. I'm like obsessed with Mask. But
see, I think that's my problem with this is because I love Mask so much. It's hard for me to go with the changes as easily.
Okay,
that makes sense. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah,
it's just that I wish it was explained a little bit or better. Like there was more of a reason. But I don't hate it. I'm glad Scott and T-Bob are making it because there was a talk at one point that they weren't going to make it into the
Well, and that's because the IDW stuff didn't have he didn't have a son. They really changed the story a lot, and you know, sort of pulling at least like the like change to making him a black guy comes from that IDW shit, and then. But I actually in this so far it's good. It's pretty entertaining. You know, I don't have a problem.
And
with
Scott's more of a tech head now, so he's
Well, he can't be worse than the Scott from the Stupid Mask cartoon because that kid was an idiot who should have died about 1,000 times.
Look, that kid needed a freaking chain put on him. Yeah. I've never been one that condones those those child leashes that you put on kids when you walk them around. But Scott, that's the exception.
Yeah.
That kid, you tell him, no, Scott, don't go here.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. You're going to die. Okay, Dad. Let me go. No.
Mass hasn't really been explained a whole lot. Yeah, lacking in background. IDW was awesome. Was it really awesome? I don't know about that one.
No, no, it was not. Sorry.
I feel like I feel like IDW is incredibly hit or miss. It's like some of my favorite writing of all time is like the Cobra series. There's some great ones and Chuck Dixon stuff, and then there's a bunch of turds,
Yes.
But that's my take. Anyway,
I mean, you could even say the same thing with some of the Real American Hero that came out during that time. It was hit and miss, but you had Mike Costa's stuff, which Cobra and GI Joe and Cobra versus GI Joe. Those were amazing. Those were some of the most original ideas they came up with for GI Joe, and it's I love it. Their explanation of Cobra Law and how Serpentor fit into the whole verse made so much sense.
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember.
It was more of a cult, and
right. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Yeah. They didn't really have Cobra Law. They just had like Cobra Law,
the Church of the Coil, and
okay.
Oh, right.
Because they actually threw Cobra Law in too with like the Transformers GI Joe crossover, and that was stupid.
Because Unicron had come to Earth to destroy it, but the residents of Cobra Law convinced them not to, that they would take care of the planet, or they were going to curse him or they were going to give him some kind of organic virus that attacked Transformers, which we've actually seen in the episodes that led up to the rebirth of Optimus Prime. That was all incorporated. Why Cobra Law was able to defend Earth against Unicron, and then they were going to allow the Earth to kind of grow until they felt it was ready to take back over the Earth or something.
Okay.
But there was a whole thing with it.
Yeah, that I wasn't as much of a fan of. The Cobra series shit was good, but so yeah, I don't know. Was there anything else that stood out to you both since you were there, Travis, that came up about Skybound that you saw that was like worth talking about, or we think we can move on from that one?
I think we pretty much covered Skybound. I think the hype going into that panel was where they would show a trailer or a teaser art for the animated series. I don't think they've locked down a deal yet, and also anything that's going to pertain to an Energon animated series, especially if it's Amazon or something, that's going to be in a big room, either 6 BCF, which is a known big hall that's not Ballroom 20 or Hall H or Ballroom 20. I don't think it's Hall H big.
Ballroom 20 or Hall H would be.
Ballroom 20 or even 6 BCF. Have you ever been in that room? It's like where most of the video game, and I think Kevin,
that's where Mattel and WWE did theirs too.
Yeah, Mattel WWE's room seems about right for an animated series by Skybound. Because it's still going to be niche. It's still going to be like a bunch of 50-year-old dudes like us going there. So
now if they're going to announce a bunch of things like an animated series and a couple movies or TV shows or something, they're going to do Ballroom 20 or Hall H for a big Hasbro Studios type thing. But other than that,
I agree. Yeah, but they weren't going to do in that little 5A room that I was in for comics. It's just, even with Robert Kirkman, it's just still comics. And unfortunately, they didn't even, there was nothing. They said nothing about it at all. I think someone asked a question and they said, we're working on it or something. They didn't really say anything at all.
Too early. It's too early. And Skybound's basically thinking about the comics that they have within the next 6 to 12 months right now.
It's got to happen. It's too good of an idea. So it would kill.
Next year at Comic-Con, that'll be a big deal. So hopefully they
animated
have a nice
series
rollout.
Take about 2 years to get out. It takes a while to make it and to get the episodes ready. And I agree. If they have any announcement about the Energon cartoon, it's going to be next summer.
And I hope that Energon really gives Classified the jolt it needs after the year we had. Look, it wasn't bad. The panel was good because they did give us a bunch of new stuff. Now, as far as renders, again, we had nothing but the Thunder Machine, which was forced in there. But they had a lot of name onlys. We didn't go over all of them, but there was a lot of stuff. So, we had Hardball.
And it was entertaining.
There we go.
Yeah, who else we had?
It was hardball, and he comes with a baseball bat. We know
He
that.
does come with a baseball
Yep.
bat.
Yep.
I
And
just
then
hope
who
the
else?
baseball bat fits on his backpack because that's going to be aggravating if he has to carry
That
a
would be
baseball
cool.
bat with him.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
we had the
Serpent
Heat.
for his lair, yes, but not for G.I. Joe.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of people. Yeah, everybody goes to STC.
Everybody's under
Huge.
40, just not at the G.I. Joe panel.
Yeah.
Right?
It has everything
Oh.
for everybody. There's probably 12-year-olds.
Yeah, there's no kids getting into G.I. Joe.
Look, my
unless it's
daughter
yours.
was the youngest one in there for a little while, and she's 19, and she left before it really
Yeah.
started.
Exactly. Oh, Heat Viper. That's the other one.
Heat Viper was
Yeah.
announced.
Excited for that
Yeah.
one? What about
I
you,
think I'm
Destro?
most excited for that out of all
Yeah.
the stuff. I love the Heat Viper. I
Agreed.
think we've seen with guys like Tripwire and Scrap Iron that they can take somebody that's got this equipment and this big kind of shit, and that they can make
Hell
it
yeah.
really awesome. So,
Fuck
and
yeah.
plus,
I
as a
never
kid,
cared about the Heat Viper, but I'm interested to see what Classified does because I haven't been disappointed about the ones that I didn't like from the original line
sure,
because those
sure,
are most of the
making it
ones that,
better.
like the Iron Grenadier, I hated in the original line.
What?
I love this
Yes.
figure.
So
You know-
to me, these colors were like close enough to the Alley Viper that I had them together. I had a bunch of Alley Vipers and then a Heat Viper like coming around the shield with his big. Well, I think they call it a rocket launcher, whatever. But yeah, I'm super excited for this. I can't wait to see what they do. I'm excited even to just get what the initial thing is like. Show me some kind of a picture.
Yeah. So we also there was a last minute hint at I think it was the comic book panel. No, it was in something where they talked about. It was in an interview with Dan, Pixel Dan, where he basically hinted and they said Night Creeper Leader's coming. Did you see that?
Yes. They did say Night Creeper Leader's coming.
Yeah. So we're getting the Night Creeper Leader. What are your feelings on the Night Creeper Leader, Travis?
This is news to me. I didn't watch any other interviews yet. So, Night Creeper Leader.
Yeah. He said they
I
did a
can't say I'm really familiar with it. Like once the figure started having the accessory sticks or whatever you want to call it, like panels, I was out of the line. So that was pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. It looks like he could join Tiger Force instead. So
yeah, he's wearing his PJs to fight.
Yeah,
ninjas.
Bengal Force.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're a
they
fan
didn't.
of Night Creeper
You're
Leader?
right though. They didn't officially announce him, but they said he's probably
They did.
coming. It was when they were talking about some of the other things that we possibly could see coming. Recently or coming down the line, like the Eco Warriors and things like that. They said that they're not. But they never gave an official. He is coming.
Well, look, let me give you some context here. I've been interviewing Hasbro at Comic-Con. Let's see, 22, 23, 24, 25, 4 years in a row. And every single interview, they said something that we use to drive our video. And
there you
not
go.
all those. Cesspool was one of them.
Oh,
Do you see a cesspool at all?
Yeah.
There was a name only, right? Was there a name only for that?
Not yet.
No.
So
No,
that's
but
my point.
because we're getting
That's
the
my
Toxic
point.
Viper, everybody's assuming he's coming soon.
They actually
Right,
did
right.
say that we are getting. They just said we're getting more of Eco Warriors. I think it was maybe we were talking to Pixel Dan's walkthrough when they said we're getting more Eco Warriors and we're getting.
It was Pixel Dan's walkthrough where he said they said that we'll probably get more Eco Warriors, and that's where I think they may have even mentioned Night Creeper Leader again, that he might be coming.
They said something about the pajama pants, and it was like
Yeah.
it was pretty clear. But
Right.
I think he's just I don't know. What's your opinions on this? What about you, Destro? You have an opinion
I
on
actually
Night Creeper Leader?
highly disliked this figure when I was a kid. It's one of those ones I'll chalk it up there with like Low Light version 2, the Sonic Fighters Major Blood, the ones that I just like almost like pearl clutching or just revolted by it, my child sensibilities. I mean, dude, I can look back now at a lot of these kind of figures and appreciate because like I can look at the mold and go, okay, I don't really like the colors or this or the fact that he's just covering his nipples. He doesn't even have a shirt on. Like, but I can appreciate it is for what it is. But now, when I was a kid, man, I detested that thing. But with Classified, I'm willing to see what they do with any figure. I've been pleasantly surprised by a ton of shit. So throw it out there, fellas. Let's see what you can get to stick to the wall.
Hey, the original Xandar was shirtless, so
that makes sense. My problem with this figure is the fact that he just does not look like the Night Creeper leader. Like, he's an okay figure if he's just a ninja. Like, if he's like fighting Bonsai or something, he's fine. Right, but he like, does not fit in with the Night Creepers in any way.
Not even the same colors or anything.
Yeah. But what I'm thinking is they'll give him one of those alternate heads, and he'll look like a Night Creeper leader, just the way they did with Scarlet and Chitty Bang Bang, or whatever his name.
Right.
Do you think they'll give him the purple colors, or do you think they'll keep these color scheme?
He did have a later purple yellow color scheme, so that. I hope so, because this is so fucking stupid. This
but here's the deal: we don't have an orange character, and that whole Ninja Force. I mean, you got Zartan's hair, but you put them together, and someone commented on my thumbnail or whatever for the review I did, and it said looks like the Power Rangers. But I think they like that because Ninja Force is neon, very bright colors. Scarlet's hair is bright. I think they'll go with orange just because it's part of that late '80s, early '90s aesthetic. I think they've done it so far, so I can't see them toning it down with the Night Creeper.
I can see that.
Yeah.
No, the Dreadnoks had shirts. Yeah, but the Dreadnoks, it makes sense. Like, you want them to not have shirts.
Sure.
Especially Zorana. But this guy, it just like makes no sense. It's like you want your leader to have a shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
your leader should be says Battle Core, but is he Battle Core? Is that going to be part? He's a Night Creeper, though. Night Creepers are ninjas. They're not Ninja Force, but they're part of that era, though. So I don't know if they're gonna.
I don't know why he's
if everything Battle Core that 90.
I think the Battle Core also represented because the accessories and the build outs with them, where you had because some of them had where they were firing weapons or they'd shoot darts or something with the Battle Cores.
Yeah, because Night Creepers had like the Ninja Force all had the stupid like whatever action features, and instead he has a gun. Maybe that's why he's Battle Core. I don't know. He should be Ninja Force, you'd think, but
I do want to.
I think this was after Ninja Force. If I remember correctly, this was after Ninja Force.
Like, right after. Well, I think it's the same. I think it's the last year. There's the last year or the second to last year of Ninja Force happens at the same time we have this character. So they,
but also at that time, remember, all the toy lines were about what you could do extra. Like you had cops that could shoot lasers and
right.
So ridiculous. I'm annoyed having it on screen. I agree.
So,
all right. Did we miss any of the
forces?
Do we miss?
Well, I wanted to bring up a point, Mark, about the panel itself. So, this was the first time I think since 22, since they've had the panel, that it didn't sell out. Like there was lots and lots of seats in the back of the room, and it was a smaller room than they were in last year. So I don't know if it's the Lenny effect, where Lenny's a rock star. Emily is also a popular brand manager, was a popular brand manager. Tony was becoming, a kind of a rock star designer there as well. And then there's no HasLab. So I don't know if it's between the HasLab. Maybe a lot of Joe fans with inflation aren't attending. You got more like maybe people that are after the movies and anime and all this stuff. Like maybe there's a lot of combination of things. The exclusives, we talked about those, they didn't sell out. They're the only ones that didn't sell out for our Hasbro. So there's a lot of I don't want to downplay that, like how down some of this stuff is compared to years before. You know what I mean? Like I'm not getting on the line, but I want to bring some reality to it.
Travis, I don't think Room 6AB is smaller than 25 BC, but the problem was last year there was a Totoro anniversary panel right after the G.I. Joe panel. So 90% of the room of the G.I. Joe panel was there for the next panel with the Totoro.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So there were so many G.I. Joe fans that did not get in the panel at all because of that. There was a line that went around the building. So they went
every
back
year the panel was full. Every year the panel was full, and I have friends that couldn't get in the panel. Every year they've done the G.I. Joe panel, though. So, that's true. That is true. That was like super awkward and awful, but every year there's been a sellout panel and like people lining up and not getting.
You're right. 25 BC is much bigger, and it was about half full. And honestly, this was probably one of their better panels as far as entertainment or keeping the audience entertained wise.
Well, it was
because
a fun
they had
panel.
Sergeant Slaughter show up, they had Cold Slither there, they had a whole little bit that was going on with Cobra Commander. So there was they did some entertaining, and there was also we had the new creative team. You know, Mark was finally.
Oh yeah, let's talk about. We're gonna talk about that actually. So, do you guys know anything
about?
I
want to bring up one point though. I want to bring up one point, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry to be like Debbie Downer, but I just want to bring some realism to this because we are 6 years in. So, there was a lot of that entertainment, but do you feel like it was padding because they didn't have enough? Years past, we would get 6 to 8 digital renders. We got one at the very end. And instead, we're having Sarge Slaughter make jokes. I mean, I'm a WWE guy, WWF since I was
I love
fucking
Sarge.
kid, like 5 years old in the 80s. But Sarge is the GOAT. But I'm just saying, like, Sarge is there, taking up time, making jokes. They have the Cold Slither did a whole song, and people are like just sitting there on their hands, kind of, like, come on, do the fist pump.
Yeah, they did the whole music video for Cobra Island.
5 minutes long, and it's a lot of padding and circus acts when maybe and it's probably smart on their behalf to have that. If they don't have anything to show that's new,
exactly.
You have celebrities. So I'm giving them credit, but I'm saying like there's a reason for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
It doesn't feel like the line is going downhill because we're losing interest. It feels like they dropped the ball and we're so we're dipping in interest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
It hasn't been that mind blowing.
I honestly think that the prices of things right now is causing a lot of this.
Well, because they are jacking the prices up unnecessarily. Like that Action Man is the most egregious of all because that's a $44 figure that has basically 2 more accessories than maybe you'd get with a 27, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. You know, that to me is
you know what? We didn't talk about the shipwreck. They did that reveal. It was just the car.
Shipwreck.
I'm happy about this.
Me too.
Actually
Navy SEALs shipwreck.
Probably my second.
There was a general. There was a Dollar General figure that was done probably about 8 or 9 years ago, maybe more, and they had like 4 or 5 figures that they released, the 3 3/4 ones that were Dollar General exclusives. So it was after 25th anniversary and all that weight was gone. We had the Dollar General ones. And they were in this real small packaging that was like red, white, and blue, but they had a green shirt in it. They had a Snake Eyes. I think there was a Duke, a Cobra Commander, and then they had Shipwreck in a nautical, sweatshirt and beanie that was absolutely gorgeous. I love that
sweater. I think
it took me forever to find one, and it's like one of my grails I had because it's gorgeous.
Yeah, what I'm hoping is if they give an interesting, very cool, like give them that boarding hook thing. You know what I mean? Like that would be great.
Yes.
Well, they did say he's coming with
that's his iconic weapon, and he's never had it. It's like, what the fuck? All right, let's talk about the last bit here. This is the last.
Hey, Destro.
What about the designers? Did we skip that? The new team? Did we skip about?
Let's talk about it. What do you know about him? I know nothing. So if you know something, what do you know?
All right, I'll step in here real quick. So I got to talk to both Mark and Eric, and I'll start with the designer first. Eric's a good fucking dude. You guys are gonna like him. He's not like as outgoing and bizarre. You're not gonna see these guys dress up as dreadnoughts and shit like that. Like, it's gonna be low key, but I think this line really needs, until they get the movie stuff, to just focus on hitting us with just good quality stuff. And we don't need the sideshows like we got. We just need, new, maybe a fresh, and I love Lenny's like the homie, but I'm saying like a new fresh blood in there. And Eric and Lenny are friends. I don't want to divulge any personal stuff that he would probably want to say himself, but there's good camaraderie between the two. I'll leave it there. So a lot of stuff that would continue or finish up, or there might be some collaboration just as far as just friendship, or hey, it's not like, well, what am I gonna do with this guy's shit? No, they've worked together. They've been friends. Like that's a good thing. It's not someone coming over from, some other company foreign that never met Lenny. You know what I mean? Like that's good. And Eric brings a good edge to it, and it's different. Like, Lenny was known for his dreadnought stuff, and of course his all the drawings he did were on a lot of warriors. Like as say a Conan type or He-Man type of fantasy warrior. This guy's going to bring a different edge. I think more military. You know what I mean? More military, a little more punk rock than hard rock, if that makes any sense. So I think a little more, and I think G.I. Joe needs a little more. There's a lot of people, hey, the gun is wrong. I'm not saying this guy's a hardcore military dude or anything, but like there's a lot of that, like, hey, this isn't accurate. I think we're going to get a lot more of that stuff from him, and maybe not as much bizarre stuff. But then I asked him, and he says, I love mechs, I love robots, I love synapse. Like, so you're still going to get some cool, funky left field stuff. It's not going to just be OG-13 and Bobby Vala's Action Force stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to get some cool fantasy stuff too. So that's a good one. The last one, I'll make it quick. Mark Beasley is a good brain for the line with the file cards. And some of the stuff is starting to make sense now, right? So Classified is, hey, it's Operation Blackout. Now it's retro because everyone hated the video game designs, the Nerf stuff. Yeah. Now it's, oh shit, we're making a retro line. We have to come up with stuff, and Lenny killed it with all these ideas. I think Mark is starting to connect the dots between the new characters, and like we talked about it with Iron Grenadiers and Synapse and October Guard. Then you got Sundown with Headman, and the DEF is coming now. That got leaked in an interview as well. So you're starting to see some of the stories make sense, even if there's no media tied to it. At least some of the toys are going to start making sense. They're not just throwing out characters. They're going to have a place in the universe beyond just like photography. So I'm real excited that there is just more concentration with what we need. It's less like trying to come up with the coolest thing. It's more about let's make this shit make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, Mark, real quick. My conversations with both Eric and Mark are almost identical to what you just had. I will say, Mark, I have a feeling is going to be more the voice of the line now when we see the JoJo Junes and things like that. Because Eric is more reserved. He's more of an introvert. He came over from Transformers Animation. He's knowledgeable about Joe's. He's also very willing to try different things and go deep doing deep dives and expanding the line to where we may not have gone. Lenny liked to go big and outrageous in some things where I think Eric's going to he may get there, but it just I think he's going to come in and kind of give us more of a steady of what we have at first, and then start to tweak things a little bit. But like you said, not only are Lenny and Eric still in good standings and talking and all the time, him and BMAC, everybody at Hasbro. This wasn't them leaving had nothing to do with Hasbro other than location. So these guys, it's not like we're getting. These guys were thrown into a pit and not given any direction. They're all very in sync with it.
Yeah. I'm gonna take off, Mark. I gotta get
okay. Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, but thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Trav, thanks. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, Travis.
Hey, likewise. Good to meet you, RA. We definitely catch up, man. Thank you.
It was fun getting to know you over the weekend, and let's we're down the street from each other. Let's hook up. Not that way, but
that's cool.
I mean.
Destro Design, Mark. All right, see you later.
Later.
Night.
Oh. All right, so let's talk about what we got going on with. We have what Big Bad Workshop is doing. Absolutely insane stuff there. I think. Yeah. Also, G.I. Joe guy says the new designers made some of your all-time favorite Transformers. That's awesome. Very excited about that. I think sometimes you just think my theory is, Lenny, you just do enough of these, you got to do something else. The same thing happened to Ron Rudat. He did so many, and then he was like, when he hit 87, he was like, I'm done. I can't do any of these anymore, and he wanted out.
Here's Raptor and Big Boa.
Yeah,
Lenny said that there were 4 figures that he had left that he wanted to do, and he got to design them all before he left.
Yeah,
So-
that's exactly. I think like that. That makes sense to me. I think you got to move on. You can't do the same thing forever. And
you said it. You said it months ago. I think is that with the move to Boston and wanting to be close with his family and be there to take his daughter to pick her up from the train or take her to his whatever was just as important as what he was designing, if not more.
But that doesn't add up to me just because Norwood is like, because if he lives where I live basically, and Norwood is like 40 minutes away from this, and Boston's an hour. So I just don't. So I don't really know why.
Yeah, but if you had to pick up your daughter, if you were the one picking up your daughter and whatnot,
I don't know.
It might change your opinion. Or
I'm just saying it doesn't add up. It can't be the whole reason because it's not far enough away. You know what I mean? Like,
sure, I'll give you that.
It's like when you live in, like my girlfriend lives south of Norwood, and it just doesn't add up that I would be that much of a factor. You know what I mean?
Look, I'll give you that because in LA we don't judge how far something is by its distance. We judge it by how long it takes to get there.
Well, yeah, and then that's true. It takes longer to get to Boston because the traffic's obnoxious. Depends on where it's going to. Than it does to get to Norwood, even though they're like kind of Norwood's certainly closer to Rhode Island because I live like basically where exact same place where Lenny lives. So, but I don't know. Doesn't strike me as the move could be the whole thing. He said the move was part of it. It wasn't the whole thing. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't add up.
And not only just time with the classified line, I think he worked there for 20 years, right? I don't know about
you just burn out, man.
But I work for myself because if I have to show up to the same place for more than 3 weeks, I want to jump out a fucking window. So 20 years, that's
it's the same thing when you see writers or actors or whatnot, that have been doing shows for the longest time where they just want to stop doing it and do something
you get
different.
Sick of it. Yeah. Why wouldn't you get sick of it? Especially creatively, because you're gonna like burn out. You know what I mean? Like maybe showing some burnout. So whatever. But Big Bad Workshop, man, this thing looks fucking awesome. So they keep giving us shit that we want that we're not gonna get, or it'll be a long time. You see they have a whole line of like they call NPCs, and they've got a news anchor, an exorcist, FBI agents, cheerleaders, a stay-at-home mom,
mob boss.
Mob bosses.
So the mob boss does come with a cat, and I was doing everything I could to try to get him to put a claw hand that comes with it, so you can get Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
I'm sure they will because they love doing shit like that. They love sneaking in an IP steal. That's their whole gig.
This one looks perfect to fit in with the Joes. There's one called Little Red that's based on. It's kind of like a Little Red Riding Hood type figure who would fit in with the Dreadnoks perfectly. And then there's another one that's just as a prototype that would be another Dreadnok female.
Yeah,
did you see the nun? The nun,
the nun. Yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
I saw that and I stared at it for a solid minute and I was like, that is just incredible. That looks like an incredible figure. Just like 10 out of 10.
But this really one, awesome.
When
you're standing up close to it, oh my God. I thought it was Hector Ramirez.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really looks perfect. And I love the face. Face has a lot of character to it. It's just great. I love what they're doing. I haven't bought a single thing from them yet. But
dude, listen, I'm telling you, the Monster Force Delta Reds, there's 2 of them. They're just like and the Phantom Core. So that's the dude that's the black and like forest green, full camo head to toe. You can get this accessory pack that goes with him. So I saw it. I wish I could credit who was saying it the other day. Was showing it, and then they had the accessory pack. So altogether, even with the accessory pack, it was $60. And bro, it looks so insane that I will hand over 60 for that all day. Yeah. It's like, you can pay $42 for the 60th anniversary special forces, or you can pay a little bit more and get the coolest figure you've ever seen in your life. Like, it looked that awesome. But those Delta Reds, there's 2 of them. They're just slight variations of each other. They have different parts. Like that's what really, I got those. And that's what really set me on a, man, I really need to see what's out there away from classified. Because the first one I got, the primary weapon, the barrel was snapped off. I emailed them at like 8 o'clock Sunday night, and by 10 o'clock Monday morning, I had a full refund for the whole thing. So I just ordered another one. I was like, oh, I'll just send me another figure then. And I take those two out, and you look at them, and you're like, these are so much better than a classified. Yeah. It's not even funny. I mean, it's just, we love the classified characters and the, whatever. But man, if you're looking to branch out, I'd start the Phantom Core or one of the two Delta Reds, and you will open it up, you will touch, you will feel everything, and you'd be like, this is so worth the money.
So at the bottom of the cabinet, they had the Fury Force and Larry Hama.
Oh yeah.
Those were gorgeous. The Fury Force looks amazing. The Hama figure looks great. And honestly, this is where I think Hasbro's dropped the ball. Is they should have made this figure, because they did it with the they've done it with the Lucasfilm stuff, with doing a George Lucas and a Dave Filoni figure, and they need to do a Hama, but the Hama one that he comes with a coloring book, or excuse me, he comes with a comic book that he's drawing or writing.
That's so awesome.
The figures themselves just look like what you'd want from a military figure.
Right,
they're gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, it's like $1 Billion Company is all about what have you done for me lately, and as far as they're concerned, Larry Hama hasn't done shit for them because he created the character. There, we already own the IP. We don't need you to fucking, you know what I mean? And I think that's a crying shame. I mean, could you imagine if like in my mind, again, maybe this is me being naive about something. Just imagine if you're like, okay, we've been doing the classifieds, it's doing well. How can we continue to make it do well? Well, maybe we bring in Larry Hama we can develop a few new characters like they did the Wolf Spider. Why the fuck not? And pay. Oh, what does he want? I don't care. Just pay him because
he doesn't want that much.
No. Yeah,
he'd probably be very reasonable.
Even with him still writing on GI Joe, it's still a major part of GI Joe. You would think at some point.
Yeah,
now, I see it every year. I like to set a bug in usually Lenny and Tony's ears, but this year it was B-Mac and Eric's ear and even Mark's ears. I always try to set a bug of what figure or exclusive to try to make. I've done it in the past with several of them. I was like, dude, we need a Hector Ramirez, and we need the whole team that was in that shipwreck episode where we get the Baroness in disguise, we get the cameraman operator. I said that's another exclusive that we could do just to get us that Hector Ramirez figure.
You got him now. You don't need it. They do this all the time. They did Dr. Venom. They did. Somebody said that here. They got the Dr. Venom. You're saying some of these are peg warming? Yeah, they got like a mom and a cheerleader. I can see getting them. I just think to me it's like it's too much money. You know what I mean? Like so. If it was, they're usually $40 figures. So
the Dr. Rand figure.
Oh yeah, you got him. Yeah, I was thinking about getting.
Yeah. So all I did was I added the little swoop to his hair and put a Cobra symbol on his jacket. Yeah. And he's Dr. Venom. I mean, it's gorgeous.
One of the I've seen a few people do this one particular thing that is also with the Monster Forces. I can't think of what it's called. But it's basically like it looks like an SS uniform, and it's got that glass thing with the brain.
The brain in it, yeah.
Taking that off and putting Mindbender's head on there, and it looks amazing.
I've been wanting to do that, so I have the head, the brain in a jar, just to put in a diorama with Venom and Mindbender. But that figure, what I was going to do with that SS uniform was I was going to put Destro's head on it and make it more.
I think I saw that. I think I've seen that, and it did look amazing.
Because that looks really good, because it's more dressed up than the gold one we get with the spoiler.
Figurehead says the NPCs and Valor's extra figures just aren't worth the money to me when I could spend those on actual characters. That is kind of how I feel too. The only thing, if I was a photographer, which I'm not, but for those of you who do like Destro, you do the photography. You do some photography too, right? All right, or kind of like dioramas or something.
Yeah. But the ones I get are usually the ones that can build out the universe, like a Dr. Venom, or that get like generals that I can put in, things like that.
The Indiana Jones line, I bought all those. They look just fine if you're standing them in the background. Some of them are like like those. They almost look like cabana suits, but they're nice, And there was what was it? Oh, there was the Black series had like 3 or 4 figures that were this one guy. He looks like he's got like a just like a regular. He looks like a maintenance guy, sort of. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy on him. I think I took and the dude Andor. So you take Andor's belt off, and he looks just like a dude with like a nice leather motorcycle jacket. And the other guy, they were like $6.99 for a while. I think I bought like 5 of them. Tried to paint the jackets and make them look a little different. It was like that's how I was trying to fill it, because I did a scene with I got like 10 police officers and like 6 of the firefighters. So I wanted it was to be like a scene like there was a riot. So the police officers are, you know, it was called civil unrest. It was basically like there was a citizens that were like, oh my God, these guys over here, one of them had a chainsaw, and it was setting up the story that the Dreadnoks were in the streets inciting riots and causing panic, you know, and but these were the first on the scene. Shockwave is like, oh, hey, call the Joes. It's the Dreadnoks. But I
was looking to make a Hector Ramirez, because that suit is the same. I think the same suit that comes with the that hooded one of their hooded figures. It's got the blue that looks like the really good Cobra Commander one. I forget what they call it, but I think that's the same suit that he's wearing. So when I was thinking of making a Hector Ramirez out of that, but then I saw this when I was there. I was like, oh, well, now I don't have to. That is
Hector Ramirez. That's him.
It's perfect. Yeah. But yeah, because you really though you need like you need bystanders. You need people that are getting killed by muggers. You need muggers. Well, I mean, if you're doing photos, if I had all the money in the world, I would probally buy a shit ton of them.
Sure.
What are they? I would rather buy like 20. What's that?
I would say, what are they charging? Is it $25, $30 a figure, or can you get like a 3-pack for some kind of a deal?
Well, the extras are pretty cheap, but the NPCs, is my guess, are as expensive as everything at Big Bad, which means they're 35 to 40.
I think they're 35.
Like Valivers,
he did make, but the extras he made specifically cheaper than his normal figures, I think. So that you can and they're swappable, so you can make different combinations.
Oh, okay. So you buy 3 of the same one and then switch some stuff around and make it look.
Yeah, and there might be a pack or something. I'm not really sure. I can't remember how that works. But the my guess is the NPCs, which a lot of the NPCs I'm pretty more interested in, because he's got some weird ones there, like a cheerleader, a mom.
There's yep.
FBI agent would be very useful, but they're all
those look kind of cool. Like the cheerleader, the cheerleader prototype. I was like, maybe I could make that into a Dreadnok. Give like a cheerleader Dreadnok.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a depressed mom Dreadnok.
Right, nice. But some of those NPCs you could do.
She's got like a pill bottle in her hand.
Yeah. Or you could make him being held captive by Cobra or something, and Joe's the Joes have got to save him. But it fills out the world, and that's what they're there for. But you're right. I think they're like 35.
The pregnant wife, future ex-wife of Lieutenant Falcon, when they're both on crack, Rhodey.
I would love to do a shoot of like an army guy walking out the door like he's going for duty, or even a police officer, and then the mom is like pouring wine into one of those coffee mugs.
Yeah. It's wine o'clock. This Valivers extra figures, they go on. Yeah, he's doing a pre-order this Friday for those. Cool. All right. Well, anything else? What else? Was there anything I missed here, either in the chat or on the panel, that we should talk about here, or otherwise we'll call it a day. But I think we basically covered it. There's a lot of stuff we could have covered again, but it would have been like we saw it. We talked about it. We talked about it again, and now we talked about it again. I don't think we need to do that.
Cold Slither had their second sellout concert.
Oh yes.
That's pretty cool. Oh, so has anybody heard? Are they going to play at the New York Comic Con again? Because you said you're going to that, right, RA?
I'm going to New York Comic Con. Yes, I will be
Mark,
there.
if you could swing it, I'm going to try. It's it's 3 hours. I don't know.
It's the weekend of the 7th of October.
7th.
It is also 3 hours for me. Yeah, I could maybe do that.
Yeah, it's definitely on my radar. Well, I was supposed to go last year. Like I literally had plans to go, and then I wound up. I was working on a commercial job that what I had to have done would held up other people. Like it would have been very bad for my business. there was nothing I could do. I was like, if I go to this concert, I'm not going to have it done. It was what it was. But
it's
I was
not
very
far for me. But is it expensive to go?
It's a good question. I have no idea. I haven't looked. RA, did you buy tickets already?
I have a professional badge for it.
Oh, nice. You know what? I'm sure I can find out right now.
Yeah, you guys, we could talk to off the air. I mean, it's just not something I want to talk about. Over live stream, I guess. But no, as far as a concert, they haven't said anything yet. Considering that this one's sold out, the one in New York sold out, and the one in the original one sold out. I think that they'll probably do one. It just depends. It also depends on if the bands can be involved or not, because this time it wasn't just Cold Slither. It was Britta Phillips, who's Gem and the Holograms.
Yeah.
DJ AZO, I think his name was, or something. My daughter called it Hasbro Coachello because there was just so many bands. And then you also had Sebastian Bach come out to do a song or two at the end.
Oh, geez.
Really?
Oh yeah, he did two.
With Cold Slither?
2 songs, huh?
With Cold Slither?
No. He's technically part of the Knights of Unicron.
Oh,
the Knights
he
of
is.
Unicron is the headliner.
I didn't know he was in that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Skid
Knights
Row,
of Unicron
baby.
has 2 members from Exhumed who are also part of Cold Slither, and then they have 3 members of Knights of Unicron are Cold Slither.
Wait, so Benja's Lair says, what about the confirmation of the 2027 HasLab? Did that happen? I am unaware of that.
I didn't hear anything, but I think it was one of the YouTubers that posted. It was never mentioned.
I thought it was hinted, but
it was hinted, but it was never
I didn't
confirmed.
Hear that at all. Sorry, I never heard that at all. But that's awesome. I would hope so, because I think they should. Yeah, they should do one. Nice.
I do think Gem and the Holograms are coming though to the classified line.
I would
or at
love
least
that.
Gem.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, they did say that the mold for Lara Croft is going to get used quite a bit. And when I asked the question, hey, how about Gem and maybe a 2-pack with her and Synergy or Pizzazz or something, or putting Pizzazz in the Dreadnoks or whatnot, there was. They did show up on the packaging of Cold Slither, so they're in the universe.
Exactly.
So, that's cool.
G.I. Dave says the new my new Dreadnought video had a code line for grape soda and chocolate. I think Larry Hama said that in an interview. I think it's where I got that from. That
I think so too.
That's how he's.
That video was excellent, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You don't know how to make a bad video.
Thank you.
For sure.
I pulled a lot.
Good thing you're seeing the edits,
right? What's that?
I said, good thing it can be edited, right?
Yeah,
because I know there's certain movies that look gold once they've been edited.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not saying you make a bad one. Please don't think that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it was making a bad joke worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Pulled a lot of little details out of that one. I think that was fun.
How long does it take to make something like that? Because it seems like there's a lot of especially the Predator one and the Voltron one. I felt like it was information rich, where it's like, man, how the fuck how much reading do you got to do to get that squared away?
Oh, it's pretty brutal actually. Sometimes, it can be like 10 hours. 12, maybe more.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
It can be like 3, 4. I mean, like some of it was not the hardest information to find, but I try to find there's some wikis and you can read a wiki and get a lot, but then I try to go a little deeper. I got to read comics and that takes a while, and then the writing of the script, and then the editing takes a while. The editing will take me several hours.
That's dude, I don't know how. So I've been trying to consider when stupid remodels when I get it done. One of the things I wanted to put time into is because I have these ideas for these videos that I do with the photos that go with a song, and I'm like, if I could just get this editing to clip right where I wanted it to with the song, I'm telling you, I did one. It was when Mass Device Breaker first came out, and it was, I think, is it the Beastie Boys song? Oh no, it's House of Pain, where they're like, breaker, breaker, here comes the breaker. And I did it where it was 3 different pictures of breaker in a row. But dude, I did it on my little app on my phone. It looked incredible, but I feel like I got lucky as shit that it wound up because, I'm doing it and I need something better where I can drag and click with a mouse and get it just right on my phone. It was whatever. So I really, really, really want to get better at that. So it's awesome. That's why my point was I appreciate how
some
good
pretty
you are
great
at that.
free editing software online. DaVinci Resolve is fantastic.
What did you say? DaVinci?
DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, I don't use that. I use Premiere, but I pay for it. DaVinci
I was going to
Resolve
ask you what you use.
Yeah, DaVinci Resolve is free. Yeah, but DaVinci Resolve is better than
Premiere's great.
Premiere.
I love using Premiere because you can you can pull from Photoshop or whatever, or InDesign or something real easily.
DaVinci's I think is good, if not better. I just use it because I'm used to Premiere and I have it. If you have the Adobe Creative Suite, you have Premiere, and it's free.
Yeah.
So, well, it's not free. It's obviously you have to pay for it. So that's there. But anybody looking to edit and you don't want to pay anything, the DaVinci Resolve will do everything you need to do. So,
and if you want to pay for it, use Adobe because the suite is perfect for it.
Yeah, because you have the suite, but it's not. I don't think it's better. It's actually.
You don't think so? I guess it's just because that's what I primarily use.
Yeah, DaVinci's just as good. If I was starting now, I would use DaVinci instead. I just there's no point why I'm going to learn a new thing when I have,
Well, that's kind
of Avid is really unnecessary. Sorry.
Unless you're producing music, I mean, I have Avid too.
Well, Avid's really different now than it was, but okay. Mark now has Antonius S. Bobby Valla moved. No, I am not making videos for Bobby Valla at the moment because he moved. So we had a good time. We're friends. So it's nothing negative. But he just lives in North Carolina, and there's no way, so it's not easy for us to make videos. I don't think we're probably going to make videos in the future, but I may write his comic book though. So there you go.
Nice.
Hey, what'd you guys think of the 40th anniversary logo?
Logo?
Oh, I guess.
The 40th anniversary logo for the retro line.
I didn't really pay much attention to it, to be honest with you. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what it looked like. I think I saw.
It's basically the G.I. Joe logo with the 40th in front of it.
Yeah, okay. TMNT G.I. Joe toys. Anybody getting them?
Pass.
Dude, I tell you what, my Target put them out, and they were sold out of them within 3 hours.
Really?
I mean, it depends on. I guess that would depend on how much they make. But if you're a kid and you have no allegiance to either one of those, if you're of a certain age, you're like, give me that. The Cobra Commander Shredder one definitely looks cool, but they're very cartoonish. It's not.
Bebop and Rocksteady sold out so fast.
Yeah,
I would consider the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow probably.
That did look. That had some look to it.
Rest. I don't think.
I
don't need to pay money.
Mattel had an exclusive, which was Leonardo Snake Eyes with Timber, which was really cool looking.
That's nifty. Did they make a Casey Jones?
Yes.
Or is that too on the nose as a person?
No, they did.
There's still a chance we get a DIMSA Action Force figure. I like that idea. He could do that because he just did a as part of his extras line. He made himself and he made Articulated Ninja. There you go.
Right.
I tell you what. So at the concert, B-Mac came out and sang with Cold Slither. They had him in this oversized Cold Slither hockey jersey, and he wore a mask that kind of looked a little bit like Chaos's. And he came out and was screaming in the mic and everything. And it was funny because he was supposed to do it as incognito, and no one would know. But you could see his. Sorry, the cat and dog just ran through. I thought it was a freaking Tom and Jerry cartoon. But you can still see his taped wrist. And then the guys announced that it was him, but it was just this hilarious moment that he wasn't. He was like, "Well, if I knew they were going to announce me, I wouldn't have freaking worn the mask." But I told him, I said, "We need that figure now. We need the B-Mac Dreadnoks figure with the mask." And he kept mentioning Chaos. So I think he really wants to do a Chaos figure.
Oh yeah, I think we'll get one of those.
Serpentor's Lair.
Sad you did. Yeah. It was a good experience working for Valiverse. He was good to me too. In the end, he gave me a little bonus for doing a good job.
Smart man.
He's a good dude. Yeah, I think so, all good. Well,
Serpentor's Lair brings up, he says, I'm disappointed everyone crapped on the SDCC exclusive Destro Designs figure tonight, hurting my brother's royalty check. So when I was on with Laser Pants in the midweek thing, they had just released the photos of it, and we were looking through, and he was like, wait a minute, and he had my face, and then he pulled up this one shot of it was like a kid profile like this, and the hair wasn't quite as long, but still it was like, the jawline, that big honker. And I was like, yeah, they owe me money for that. That and that Sideshow Firefly. I don't remember who brought that one up. I think Cal 327 had it. And I was doing something, I think, and I had my mask on. So all you could see, it's a balaclava. And I was doing a video or something, and you could see it. And then that Firefly figure has that same thing on. And I was like, yeah, man, they owe me money. I want royalties from that.
Well, we're hitting the 2.5 hours, so I think anything else we need to throw out there? Otherwise, we'll call it a night, I think.
Look, SDCC is always fun to go to. If you ever get a chance, you should definitely go.
I'm thinking about maybe getting a press pass or something and trying to go in the next couple of years.
You'd have sorry, the animals have just gone nuts at this house.
Yeah.
No, if you get a chance, you go. It's fun. I will say that the Hasbro team, they've always been very friendly, upfront. They'll tell you what they can. If they can't, tell you something or can't talk about something, they'll let you know that it's off limits.
Mm-hmm.
But they've always been very, very good about answering questions, taking input, and listening.
Yeah. I think the problem with me is San Diego Comic-Con is expensive for both you and I here because it's far and it's not cheap, and I'm pretty sure that all the hotels are sold out, right? So it's probably
okay. If
very
everyone
hard to
wants
get
a
hotel.
secret, don't go through Hotels.com or Travelocity or any of those others for the hotel. Go through the San Diego Comic-Con hotels registration. They get them cheaper.
Yeah. But yeah, it's far. There's a lot.
They're still jacked up really high.
Yeah.
I
So
can
you're talking
imagine,
about
man.
a lot of cranking up the hotel price, flight, everything.
The cheapest you might find is $250 a night, but you're not you're in the bus line to get to the convention.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to stay down in San Diego, it's anywhere from $600 to more. A few thousand a night.
That's like New York City. It's very expensive to stay down there. If you need to grab a room for a night, forget about it.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, anything you want to throw out there? Let's RA.
Yeah. So, not only do I have Joe Fest coming up next year with Sergeant Slaughter, where he's asked me to be on his panel for the Breakfast with Sergeant Slaughter.
Nice.
Nice. That sounds cool.
We're in the deal to work out something where this image will be somehow involved with him, possibly for sale, possibly for something else. So that means that all the copies of the book that I had for people for pre-order, whatever I have left is all that's available and all will ever be available. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You sold a few that night on my show. He came on a Saturday,
I have a 50 count pre-order, and because of that show, there's probably 30 left.
Nice.
Okay.
If that. Cool. So if anyone wants one, I'll throw the link up if you want. I don't want to do it without
Yeah, go for it.
It's not just the outside; the inside is good. It's a really great book. I think anybody that likes G.I. Joe will enjoy it. It's great.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, I do know, and I will divulge this, that I was talking with Doc Savage, Ross. He plays Torch in in Cold Slither. He told me that he had taken Gus, who is Zartan's copy of the book, and was reading part of it to all the members of Exhumed on one of their road trips. So he was reading a part where that deals with Jim and Duke dating, and he was reading it out loud to the whole band.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So they were on the West Coast and then in like I think Europe or something. And the last time I talked to him, he said that in October they're definitely coming up to my neck of the woods. I'm definitely gonna go see Exhumed. That new album that they just came out with now. This is super heavy stuff, but it totally rips. Like it's really good. It's not just it's like really awesome.
Wait, Spencer's letter saying Lady J is coming on to your show here. Is that true?
We went back and forth once or twice. I think we're trying to nail down the specifics, but she initially said, my brother Big Red had made a post and was like, how good would it be if Destro got Sergeant Slaughter and or Mary McDonald Lewis? And she hopped in the comments and said, I'd love to. So I asked her. I couldn't DM her at first, but she figured out unlocked it or whatever, and sent me a DM, and we talked briefly about, how long, what days. So August 15th is my actual birthday, and that's on a Saturday. So I was going to do like a birthday kind of thing. And I said, listen, if you want to come on then, and whatever length of time, you tell me 15 minutes, we can ask some cool questions.
Yeah. Don't do 5 hours with poor Lady J, please.
I made it clear. She did say, how long do you want to chat for? And I was like, I do a long show, but if you just came on, 30 minutes, we could get through it and it would be totally fine. But yeah, no, it's I always tell the guests, like, listen, don't feel obligated to stay because I probably will not be ending around the time that you've had enough. So just,
all right.
Usually 2 hours.
Feel free to put your link in the chat if you want.
Oh, thank you. I think I did. I'm not sure if I.
Okay. Did you?
I might have. But I
didn't see it. I do not see it. So go for it there.
Thank you for reminding me, Serpentor's Lair. I actually meant to bring that up earlier. I completely forgot.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
That would be cool.
Very cool. Anything else going on?
Well, I'm Destro Designs, Viper Den Studios. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Threads. YouTube is Destro Designs. Saturday night is live from Viper Den Studios. Next Saturday, the August 1st, I have the guy who runs the GI Retro account. He basically has a YouTube page. Like every episode, he kind of goes over an episode of the Sumbo cartoon, but it's very good. It's very well produced and it's nice. And I've talked to him on the timeline a bunch. So interested, looking forward to having him on. And then, like I said, everybody stay tuned. I will be talking to you guys also about if you guys can make it, or even like it's going to be a lot of people. So I'm not asking anybody to stay. Even if people come in, say, hey, hang out for a minute. We talk about some Joes and then that's it. But it's going to be a good time. I'm really looking forward to it. On Mondays, you can find me here. Hanging out doing this with Mark. Thank you as always, brother, for having me on. Tuesdays and Fridays, I'm dropping them articles at serpentorslair.com. There's so much more than just me there in those 2 days. There's stuff happening every day. There's a whole bunch of people that are dropping articles. It's really,
Dave's doing it right now. I think RA,
doing it. RA, and then
I am. I haven't, unfortunately, for the last couple of weeks because of Comic-Con, but I will be sending one out this week.
Nice. Yorktown Joe drops a lot of stuff, and the guy himself, Serpentor's Lair himself, actually does. He drops a lot of stuff on there too, and it's all very good. It was his article, one of his articles about the Sumbo.
Oh, all right. I think you're private chatting me. Did you know that?
No, I am. I was private because it's not allowing me to put it on YouTube for some reason. I don't know why.
Text it to me, RA, and I'll see if I can put it on.
It might be because it's a PayPal link. I don't know.
Could be. I don't know.
Well, also, Tuesdays and Fridays, articles in Serpentor's Lair. You can also find me. We'll be dropping with my brother Roadblock and his fine line of toys coming. The Shadow Strike. We are writing the Shadow Strike comic. I've got pretty good headway on that. And like I said, I'm looking for a Labor Day release so we can drop it, and everybody, when they got their feet up over the course of that holiday weekend, they can get down and get a real good look at what the lore is going to be like. And then a untitled project that is still in the infancy stages, but I like to mention it because I'm actually really excited about it, is I am writing something with my brother Sean Carney from Complete Carnage Photography. And basically, I think we're going to tell the story with the story we're writing, as well as because we both love to do photos. He's also very good at it. We think we might be able to put something together that is really, really awesome because he's got some super cool ideas. So I'm excited for all that. And that is where you can find me almost every damn day of the week doing something.
It's not letting us add it to YouTube. Maybe just put the link to your website and people can find it.
So
from there.
yeah, well, I just put on there that you can DM me at Protocol GI Joe,
and I'm like
and
hesitant.
then I'll send you the link and we'll get it taken care of.
Or you could just but nice. Okay. What do I got going tomorrow? I got the Mythology of She-Ra is coming out, and then I am next week. Oh yeah, that's all I'll have to talk about. Next week we have Carson from 3D Joe's is coming on, and we're gonna play What the Fuck Is That once again. So we did that a while back, and this is where we basically take items from GI Joe that you don't know what the fuck it is. And we talk about what we think it might be, but Carson actually knows what it is. This is why we're gonna have him on, because he's got in tight with all the creators. And then we're gonna have GI Dave, because GI Dave is gonna have some weird ideas about what it might be from a tactical point of view. So yeah, that's it. We've been trying to have Carson on for a little while, so excited about that.
Yeah, it didn't work for me either. That's weird.
Nice.
That's
yes,
okay.
we won't let you do it. That's why.
DM me and I'll take care of it.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, thank you all. I guess if that's it, we'll say goodnight.
Thank you, brother. All right. Always a pleasure with you guys.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Thank you all in the chat.
Yeah.
See ya.